2, 3. All right. Hello and welcome to Houston. We have a podcast. We're trying another kind of a new thing here today. This is really weird for me because I'm looking at the camera and at the mic at the same time. Oh my god. This is already going off the rails.
Stellar start.
Yeah. Hey. Rosa, shut up. Sorry. We're going to leave all that in.
Yeah.
So today we are having our Luc Besson episode. We're going to focus on the life and times, no, the works, the films and works of Luc Besson. He's a French director. He's come out with probably one of my favorite movies of all time, The Fifth Element. But more on that later. I'm joined here. I'm Paulo, by the way. To all our viewers and listeners out there, you finally get a glimpse of who is actually talking this bullshit. I'm joined today with I've taken over hosting duties from Carson, and we're joined by returning guests Ben and Joe.
What's up?
I should have said something. Because the visuals there, I'm like, it's mime now. Like,
You just did, I know it's weird for everyone,
Yeah.
but so
for our audience, will still be listening to this on just
yeah.
audio.
So
Right.
for those of you that are just listening and not watching the actual video, we are this is a live podcast of sorts, video podcast.
Video podcast.
it's a video podcast.
Yes.
So it's not live at all.
No.
So if you want to check out Carson's YouTube page, you will be able to see what we look like and what we do when we're...
Exact same title as whatever the
Just-
title on the podcast you're listening to right
Yeah.
now.
Correct.
So easy to look it up on YouTube.
Yes, Houston, we have a podcast. Actually, there's probably less results of Houston, we have a podcast on YouTube because of all our biters on SoundCloud. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, NASA and anyone else. And one quick thing that I'd like to shout out also is we have our Instagram, our official Houston We Have a Podcast Instagram is now live. So follow us for more updates. What was that, Rosa? Rosa?
She said, "Follow us."
Yeah, Rosa said, my dog said follow us on Instagram. So, getting right into it, we're gonna start with a bit of a discussion, a little round table. Oh my goodness. A discussion on the latest movie from Luc Besson, Valerian.
Are we doing what we've recently seen?
Oh shoot! This is why I don't host. We're gonna start off with just a quick rundown of a movie that each of us have seen recently. A bit of a recommendation, if you will. It's nothing necessarily like new or like in theaters right now, but just stuff that we've seen that we think you should know about. I guess.
Yeah.
Anyone want to start?
I'll start.
Yes,
I'll
thank
start.
you.
This one, yes.
No problem. All right. So the movie I saw quite recently, because it has been added to Netflix. So all you Netflix folks out there, guess what? It's a movie recommendation you can go out and check out immediately.
Yes.
Movie Baywatch. Yeah. Okay.
I was not expecting that.
You know what? Honestly, you guys can say whatever you want about it.
And I will.
I liked that movie. I thought there was a lot of cool stuff about it. I feel very conflicted on how in shape Zac Efron is. And yeah, I don't know. I saw it. I would say check it out. Don't check it out if you're expecting a Shakespearean drama. That is not what they bring.
Are you conflicted because he's too in shape? Or
He's
because
so in
Okay.
shape.
For his body,
He's
it's
so
hard
in
to
shape. He's
know.
so like his. It's like I don't know. Like it's like a Mr. Olympia level of tan, but like the definition of not going freakishly muscular at the same. I don't know. I feel like I'm describing it too much. Does anyone else feel like that?
No, not
I'm
at
getting
all.
all bothered over here. Right? Like, no, seriously, Zac Efron though, and,
Yeah.
and The Rock is fantastic. And then I was kind of surprised. Anyway, no spoilers. It's good. I like
I don't mind if it's spoiled at all. If you haven't seen it already, no one's gonna see it.
Yeah.
What? That's not true. I just saw it like 2 weeks
Okay,
ago.
fair.
I just watched it too.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
I needed something to play in the background while I was working.
Well, and it's great for that.
It is.
Yeah, definitely.
Animal Burris is in it, surprisingly.
Animal Burris is in it.
Yes.
Doesn't have much to do, but
Sure, no one has a lot to. It's a very light movie. It's very light. So
Yeah.
There's a lot of they're there to show people effing other people up in and around the beach.
in and around.
All
That's
right,
it.
and that happens. All right. Another thing that happens is they watch What's the Bay.
Spoiler alert.
They do, yeah, spoiler
In
alert.
case you didn't know what
It's a very
happened.
accurate title.
Yeah,
Yes.
they watch the Bay. It's good. I don't know. I like it.
All right.
People are haters, and that's fine, but I like it.
Joe?
Oh, it's me next. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I wasn't
Yes,
sure
it's
if you
you.
guys were giving one too.
No, go.
Okay.
Oh, we are, but you're
Oh,
next.
okay. So I'm next. For me, the movie I watched recently was When We First Met. Yes, When We First Met. It actually stars Adam Devine, whatever his name is. He was in Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates,
Who I don't like.
who Paulo really dislikes.
With also Zac Efron.
Wait, Zach.
Was
He's
he?
in-
Oh, in Mike. Yeah,
he's
in
in
Mike
the-
and
Oh,
yeah.
not
Not the movie.
Joe's
When we
movie.
first
Yeah,
met.
Zac- this is
Yeah.
another Zac
Another
Efron
Zac
episode.
Efron.
Yeah, another Zac Efron
Yes.
movie. And actually, the chick from Baywatch, one of the chicks was in When We First Met. The nicer chick, not the super hot one. Well, she was
what?
she was still hot. You know, there's the one that was
right?
yeah, the
I
Dario.
think she
There's
still
the
counts
one
as the
that
super hot
she's
one.
still the
Yeah,
super hot one, but
she didn't play CJ.
yeah, she didn't play CJ, the one that's supposed to be the super sexy top line one. But I don't know. But it was a good movie When We First Met. It was pretty much a romantic comedy. There's pretty much it just came out on Netflix. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna go through the summary of what you'll find there, so I'm not spoiling anything. The dude, he's in love with this chick, and this chick is marrying someone else, and pretty much he goes in a time booth. He goes to their pre-wedding thingy, their pre-wedding dinner.
Oh.
And then he goes in a time booth because he got drunk because he's upset that they're getting married. Why not me?
Does he
And then
ruin the wedding? Or something?
he goes back in time through the time booth to when he first met the chick.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And then it kind of changes the outcome, whatever he does in that beginning, like a butterfly effect kind of thing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Okay,
So
that's-
he goes back in time a few times, and
Interesting.
So Adam Devine's in a time travel movie?
yeah, pretty much in a photo booth, he goes back in time to try to fix how he met the chick, so that he could be the one marrying her instead of the other dude.
Is he better or worse than Ashton Kutcher in Butterfly Effect?
Ashton Kutcher's good.
Ashton Kutcher's
I-
good. I really liked Ashton Kutcher for
that's-
Butterfly
yeah,
Effect.
so- Okay, so
you
is
said
he
it's
better
the
or
bar. You
worse?
said it's the bar.
He's his own person.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see.
Is he the
So,
same
wait,
actor
political
he
answer.
always plays?
Doesn't.
Yes, I feel like he's the same
not
character
listening.
he always
You
plays.
don't have. You can.
I mean,
give
we
us-
don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Oh,
like
yeah,
he's
we've,
the same
we've blown
one, though.
up now, so he could be listening.
He could.
What if this is like years down the line, right? Like, and
And
then
he-
go back
he has
the
to go
back
back.
catalog and be like, what the fuck did they say about me?
It's like, oh, these
I am
fuckers.
Adam Devine. You do not say that.
When
about
we're
me.
interviewing Adam Devine
Yeah.
on our podcast,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like an Academy Award-winning actor at this point.
Yeah.
Refuses to not be smoking a pipe while he's being interviewed, and like one of those classy like tobacco
Tobacco
pipes. So
pipes,
it's
yeah.
not nice that he's doing it indoors.
all right, Carson, what have you seen recently?
So the one I have to talk about because I've been waiting for this movie 8 or 9 years, Mute, by Duncan Jones, finally came out, dropped on Netflix last night, finally saw it. First 20 minutes, I was legitimately concerned that this is going to be the hugest disappointment of the movies that I've been expecting. There are two characters that in the beginning are just the worst actors I've seen. And I don't even know who they are. I've never seen them in a movie before.
Are they in the rest of the movie, or?
They're less in the end of in the rest of the movie. And basically, Paul Rudd takes over, and it's by far the best Paul Rudd performance I've ever seen.
Okay, good. That
Oh,
was
really?
like my main. I wanna
Him and
watch
Justin
this together.
Theroux are phenomenal, and it's just like it starts really slow, and then it just keeps building and building, and like by the end, it's a real solid movie. Absolutely no reason why it needs to be a sci-fi movie. Like you could set this movie in present day or 1940 or any time in between, and it would be like the same movie. But just the fact that it kind of looks like Blade Runner is inspired by that whole element as well as like just highlights it a little bit more. So overall, good. Not as good as I was expecting, but I would definitely recommend checking it out.
Nice.
Cool. I'm gonna go last. So keeping with the Netflix theme, because apparently we watched all
Yeah,
our
we
movies
all
on
know.
Netflix.
The industry isn't dying.
Pay us, Netflix. I watched Ingrid Goes West, starring Aubrey Plaza, who I'm a big fan of. She's hilarious. Ingrid Goes West is it's a very upsetting movie.
It's the most uncomfortable I've
It's
felt in a movie.
yeah. It's I
is
can
it about?
agree.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know what it's about, so I
So
don't know.
can you high level the uncomfortableness?
What? Well, hold on. I'll get to that. Basically, it's about this girl who she has. It's about social media like addiction and like this girl who stalks, who starts stalking this social media
Like an Instagram model.
model. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what those are, so I didn't.
Right. Yeah. You're pure.
Yeah. But yeah, so she starts like she basically like uproots her life. She goes to
Some
like
big city or something.
no the L.A. something some.
Yeah, like
Francisco.
California.
Something like that, yeah.
Right.
And she just like goes to all the stores that this girl goes to, and then she actually meets her, and then she starts like trying to be her friend, and it's just really creepy. It was oh my god.
Is it just
It was
cringe?
like I had an internal conflict going on while watching this movie because I like Aubrey Plaza, but in this movie she is insane. She
did a phenomenal job of being creepy and pathetic.
and she did a really really good job throughout the entire movie.
This feels like how I felt about Surf and Protect.
Yeah, there's like parallels, I guess.
Which one? That's the one with like Seth Rogen.
Seth
Yeah.
Rogen as the mall cop.
It's not called Serve and Protect.
Is it
it's-
not?
Observe.
Observe and
Observe.
Yes.
Report.
Oh.
Observe.
We were completely wrong.
Right. I was saying it. I'm like, what? He doesn't
Yeah.
do either of those things.
But
Yeah, but it's like that. Like that.
kind of, yeah. It's like you want her to like you're waiting for redemption, but she just keeps doing the wrong thing, and it's
Okay.
like it's done very well. And all the actors are good in it. Elizabeth Olsen, O'Shea, Ice Cube's son.
Yeah. Ice Cube Jr.
I was surprised.
Yeah,
Like,
he did really good. I actually felt bad for him, but you'll see if you watch the
Oh, in
movie.
the movie wise,
watch
okay.
that.
You should watch. You
Yeah,
should
I'm
watch
gonna
it.
watch that.
It's fitting also because she stalks the girls on Instagram, and we just released our official Instagram. So
now people can stalk us.
yeah, oh god,
Yeah, welcome that into your home.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't sound like it goes well, Carson. Although you've seen it, right? You've seen the
I've seen it. Yeah.
it doesn't
Oh,
go
yes,
well
yeah.
at all.
I mean, I'd be happy with having a fan.
Just one.
Sure, but like, yeah. All right.
Okay, so moving right along, we have a packed agenda. We're gonna start off by getting to know one of our guests. Well, both eventually, but first we're gonna start to get to know Ben.
Ben
Yes.
first.
Um,
Ben is
Ben.
top.
Because we had our audio clips. I don't know if you've been following our podcast for all 9 episodes. 10? 9.
This is our 10th episode.
This is our
because it's
10th,
episode
yeah.
11.
Right. That's why I was confused. But anyways, yeah, if you've been following, we've been having audio clips to introduce our guests, give you a little insight into who they are. But now that you can see us, this is not going to be a regular thing, by the way. So enjoy this one.
Yes.
Now that we're going to try and give you a little more characterization. So we're going to have a rapid fire round for Ben.
Okay.
I'm going to hit you with 6 questions in a row. You can give me as much detail as you want. It's not like, but the initial answer has to be instant. You can't, well,
I'll do my best.
No explanation. Your answer itself.
Just
would
do,
be,
yeah.
the explanation.
and then afterwards, if we need context, we can ask you about it.
I think I get it. I will do my best to
Yes.
be as instant as possible.
All right.
This is why I didn't want to go first, so I could observe
Right,
and
you
do.
watch me embarrass
He's
myself.
observing and reporting.
We
I'm
want
observing and reporting.
we want your first instincts to these
Search and
answers.
destroy.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. All right.
First question.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman or John Malkovich?
Gary Oldman.
Okay. Favorite movie villain?
Ooh, Mr. Freeze.
Ooh, nice.
Lucy or Limitless?
Lucy.
If you were on the Starship Enterprise, what job would you have?
Scotty.
You
Nice.
okay? So engineer.
Yeah.
When you were 10 years old, who was your movie crush?
The
There were a few,
Velociraptor.
huh?
The Velociraptor from Jurassic Park.
All right. This Okay, this is a fitting question to follow that one up. If you, which fictional movie animal would you like as a pet?
Mogwai.
Oh, not the Velociraptor.
No,
No.
no, the Velociraptor's gonna eat me and do whatever it wants with my dead body, man. Mogwai, at least I got a chance.
All right, time.
Sweet.
Curious, why Gary Oldman over John Malkovich? Not that I disagree.
No, I feel like Gary Oldman has resonated more with me as a villain, whereas John Malkovich, I'm pretty much isolated to the movie Con Air from John Malkovich as a villain, and he was good as Cyrus the Virus, but Gary Oldman in, like, The Professional, Gary Oldman, he's just a better... scarier guy.
Book of Eli, I think he's a
Yep,
villain in Book of Eli too.
yeah,
Yeah, he was a
Book
good
of
villain.
Eli,
He's a good villain.
He's just always a good villain.
Was it Dawn of the Planet of the Apes? Is he in that? Or no?
Yeah, he's in the second one.
Second one? Rise?
Rise of that.
Yeah, it's weird
I
because
can't
the
keep
names
up
are
with
The names of
wrong.
his thing, yeah. I can't.
Yeah, but yeah, so Gary Oldman over him, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Also, Mr. Freeze.
That's the first one I could think of.
Oh, okay. Do you want to change that one?
Yeah, I do want to change that. Yeah.
I'm giving you one.
Mr. Freeze wasn't
one
the
more.
worst
if I
answer.
can, I would say favorite movie villain. I forget it. Michael B. Jordan from the Black Panther.
Eric Killmonger.
Oh, nice.
Eric Killmonger.
Killmonger.
That's-
I would
Yeah.
say is my
That's
current
not just topical.
favorite
That is a
movie
really
villain.
good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I
Better
like,
than Heath Ledger's Joker?
I would have went
Ooh.
with Joker. I like Jokers.
I have.
All Jokers.
It's most recent bias, right? Like it's very fresh in my mind. I'd have to go back and check it out, but I feel like there's more reasons. Like the Joker's motivation is nowhere near as clear on purpose.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're getting. Yeah.
So yeah, in a lot of ways you get to see kind of the justification, but also there's still that bit part of
Crazy?
Killmonger.
Or-
No, like that part that's like, yes, everything has been thought out and planned, but still there's part of me that just does not move past like my initial trauma. Like he's
yeah.
he's
Okay.
still
It.
like you could rationalize with him as much as you want,
Yeah.
but he's still gonna want to do some stuff
Yeah.
based on what he feels.
My main concern with him is he becomes like a cartoon villain at the end. And it's like Heath Ledger becomes like a solid all the way through.
He has to remember he's in a Marvel movie at some point.
And
Fucking hate that excuse.
No, I'm not making an excuse.
It's
I'm
like
not
he has to
saying.
remember he's in a bad movie, so he's bad.
Well,
I'm
but
not
then,
saying
like,
it's an-
even then he doesn't like I don't know he chooses
No,
to stay the way he was.
No, exactly. So the
No,
whole
I love
time.
that. Love that.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
even with that, like he still has like a plot, like a Marvel villain plot. Do the thing, take over the world, whatever. Like you still understand the whole way through. Like you maybe don't agree, or you could agree because like that's.
I think there was a way where you could tone him down a little bit to be like, you know what, yeah, this guy's right. But then they took him way too far where it's like, okay, he's obviously an over-the-top villain.
Yeah.
So...
I
But
still think.
really good. Like,
Yeah, I still think he was the #1 Marvel villain of all, like any.
He
Marvel
is,
villain.
but that's not a...
He's
like,
the top one.
Well,
It's him or Loki.
Yeah,
Or-
Loki. I like Loki
Loki.
more. I like Loki more, just
But
because
at
it's
this point,
different.
He's
Though.
like
But
transitioning.
Loki's had like
He's
4
transi-
movies.
Yeah, and he's transitioning to being like
Yeah.
half good guy.
Thor
just-
light.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys let me change my answer because I thought I was gonna be like, everybody chill.
Freeze.
Yeah.
no, like I actually don't have a problem with Mr. Freeze.
Yeah,
I was
okay
just
with it.
curious as to why. I no,
It's just the speed with which I was asked to provide.
just
I'm
out of
looking
like
forward
pure
to this.
hilarity, I actually like Mr. Freeze because he's terrible.
Yeah, he is. Bad.
He hams it up real
He
well.
is very bad.
I have a soft spot for having it up in movies for certain people.
Certain
Right,
people.
Right. Well,
Doesn't always
I
work.
mean, if you were gonna do that with Mr. Freeze, then Arnold Schwarzenegger is perfectly
And that's
acceptable.
the type
for that.
of movie like that wouldn't have worked in The Dark Knight.
No,
No.
no, no.
God, no.
So you see, like, Heath Ledger's there, it's like, where is he? And then, like, Mr. Freeze pulls up in, like, his giant ice drill.
The Iceman coming.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I had a follow-up question.
You
that
know
I
what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. And then he just blasts everyone with his ice gun.
Okay, sorry. Quick follow-up question on the subject of Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're gonna move away from this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger where you didn't like him? I know this has nothing
What's
to
the
do with
one
Luc
you
Besson.
did recently? Was it with Johnny Knoxville? Did he have
The,
one
with
Johnny
the Korean
Knoxville?
director.
The Last Stand.
Yeah.
The last time I didn't.
You didn't like him?
I think it's maybe it was a bit of the movie too. I didn't really like it. I think
There was
after
the
that
one
I
where
was
his-
done with Arnold.
I
His
guess.
daughter's
Fair.
turning into a zombie
A
or something
zombie.
where I've heard he's not very good.
I
Because it's a very
haven't seen that
dramatic
In
role.
the woods.
But I haven't watched it.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah.
I'm gonna say
even know that
no.
Right?
I can't think
Even
of a
Terminator,
movie
the
where I
Terminator
didn't
one,
like
like
him in it.
the new Terminator one that was terrible.
Salvation, whatever.
A Genesis.
Genesis, yeah, like he was fun. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he has his old character, so he's in that role where you know
He's super comfortable.
super comfortable. Yeah, that's just
I did
what you
watch-
expect.
I watched a documentary recently on it was like the strongman competition, like those dudes
Oh,
that
yeah.
lift like huge weight. And the thing I love about that is they named like the competition to see who's the best is like the Arnold Classic, and it's after Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he at least for this film, he went to those competitions and was like hyping people up.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I
for
think
the
he legitimately
competition.
does that all the time. 'cause
Yeah,
I've seen him
and
do
I
it.
love that's awesome. Like he's like, oh, I'm just gonna get in. It's very important that you get into sport, especially if you're from a place where you don't know where you have opportunities. It's like,
Yeah.
what is your life? That's
Okay,
awesome.
sorry, before we get too off track,
Right into
I just realized that we're supposed to talk about Valerian.
Right.
So, Luc Besson's
Not enough Arnold
most recent-
Schwarzenegger, right?
20 minutes in, we have not talked about Luke. Besson.
Not yet. No, just in the beginning.
I mentioned Lucy and Gary Oldman.
It's
Fair.
true.
They're related.
Yeah.
He's-
So Valerian and the city of 1,000 planets and million universes, something or other, whatever.
Beautiful movie.
We are okay.
It's-
So
I'm
this
on the
is-
wrong side.
This is where we're starting.
Visually quite interesting.
Wait.
All right, we're getting into it
We need to
already.
split up into our teams because
Oh yeah, we gotta make teams.
we have a bit
right?
of a
Yeah.
disagreement here. Half of us think that it was
Bad.
okay, bad. So okay, we have Ben of the opinion that it was bad, Joe of the opinion that it was really good.
It was good.
Carson and I are like middle, but I'm leaning more towards bad. And
I'm going to be
Carson's-
defending it.
Selling
And
me out
Car-
hard.
yes. What? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on your team, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're like, I'm more of a moderate on Ben's team.
No, let me. Okay.
You're hedging your bets.
Let-
When someone watches this,
Let me be-
I tweeted him
Well,
about this.
Let's
Okay,
treat him
Yeah, you
with
should tweet him.
we will. But let me be clear. I thought it was bad.
So here, I'll explain my opinion on it a little bit more. I think I gave it like a 60 out of 100. And it's like, there's some things that I really liked about it. And one of the comparisons I'll make is Batman vs. Superman. I've defended Batman vs. Superman as like, I wish more movies had took the risk and had kind of had the approach that this movie had. But the core fundamentals of the movie, which is like the plot, the characters, and stuff like that all kind of suck.
Yeah.
I feel like that about Valerian, except better, because with Valerian, you have good side characters, you have a good plot. Like, I genuinely care, like, the plot I think is good. It's really just the main characters suck. And it's like, that's the only thing that's bad about it. Like, not the only thing that's
okay.
bad. But it's the only thing that really takes, like, the wind out of the sails. And I think if you replace those people with good main characters, it would be, like, a really, really solid movie. So it's, main characters are pretty important. You can't just have shitty main characters and have a good movie.
I just think like the overall on top of the main characters being bad, like, and this is coming from someone who I called this out as a movie I was looking forward to.
I was also very excited for
Yes.
I think most people
I was
would go
excited
for
for it. I liked it.
Yeah, but well, I know you liked it, Joe.
I liked it.
but like the overall execution, like it was great. Like it was a good idea. Like there were some really cool things, like concepts in it that would have been
there were
awesome.
so many concepts.
Yeah,
And
but
when
like
they call
as
it
a
the
whole,
movie of 1,000 planets, it should be the movie of 1,000 ideas.
exactly.
You
But
can
like
make it
the
go slow
overall
in
execution was like just so bad.
But I don't think it's the overall execution. I think it's some of the execution.
Yes, I agree that. I think it's some of the execution. There's a few parts where they could have done better. The main character, yeah, they could replace the main characters. I did like Kara.
Okay, do you think it was just their
because she was
acting, or Like,
I think they were horribly uncast, and the actual writing was terrible.
Yes, I
Ex-
think
so,
yes. I
yes,
think it's
that's what I was
the
gonna get
writing
to.
and the cast.
the writing was really bad. Like
Just
for
for
the
the
first,
dude.
not the first scene. Like, cause that was good with the alien
Yeah,
planet.
with the alien planet. You mean after when they're on
When-
the beach?
when
Every
we're
scene without
introducing-
the main characters was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
It has something to it.
when we're introducing, like, this is the first time, like, getting to know the main characters, and within like 5 minutes, one of them has already said, "Oh, I know." Like, they're like trying to make a romance out of nothing.
I almost felt like some of them were reading like cards off screen,
Yeah.
and being like, "Oh, I'm really attracted to you."
Yeah.
And
I love you, and
Just-
I know you're the best spy in the
spy.
galaxy,
Right, yeah.
and
The
you
best
have
agent.
like all these your previous conquests of girls, whatever.
Okay,
Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be
Storybook or
hit
something.
over the head like he's a player and he's the best. Like,
Okay, you know what's weird for me? Like, on that, like, okay, I feel like the thing that bothers me the most is that the editing must have taken out things that I want to see if you're gonna then do I
Like
feel like
for the story?
they did like the end point of something, but they failed to set it up like a bunch of times.
I guess.
Yeah.
I just like
Okay,
I see what you mean there.
All right,
but-
the one, here's an example. When Dane DeHaan, right, that guy, when the pearls from the beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Spoilers everywhere. If they can watch this without,
Yeah, it's
seeing
been
the
out
movie,
for
they're
a
saying-
little
Oh,
bit
sorry,
now, so if
time
you
out.
haven't seen it.
Spoiler alert! If you
Yeah.
haven't seen
Spoiler
the movie,
alert.
we're going to talk about
Turn it off. We're
everything.
gonna
Yes.
turn it off. We're gonna talk about.
Don't turn it
everything.
off. Just skip to. We'll put a time.
Or
for it.
stop
Right.
it now,
Yeah, so-
watch the movie, then come back.
Yeah, that's also good. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
No, okay, so like they're doing something and all of a sudden the pearls barge in, right? And they haven't been seen for 30 years, okay?
Okay.
And they're hitting them with these very specific guns that are blasting them into these little cocoons.
Yeah, like the
right?
jelly,
guns.
the
The
sticky,
sticky guns,
the
with,
jizz
like,
guns.
the crazy cocoons.
They
that are-
were jizz guns.
Yep.
and
Sure.
they're clearly very specific to these things that haven't been seen for 30 years,
Yeah.
right? And then Dane DeHaan and, I mean, at best, they're meant to be 35, right? At most. That's how
I
old
was
they
gonna
are.
say like they were trying to make them younger than they actually were, like 20
yeah,
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm trying to, so, like, they have not been alive while these things have been around. And as people are going down from these weird jizz cocoon guns,
Yes.
Dane DeHaan casually slips in a mouthpiece into his mouth
Oh, yeah.
as he's getting shot, and then there's a robot that comes out, cuts the cocoon, and then goes right back into his mouth thing, and then he gets up. I need to have something
Some
That he
background.
knew.
beforehand. Well, why does he have specifically
Well,
the
I'm
cocoon
okay with that.
robot
There's
on
I'm
him?
okay
highly
with that.
trained.
What?
No,
army
because
people.
in their
Cocoon
first
robot?
scene,
That's
in their
okay.
first scene, Cara Delevingne is like, "You're the best." There you go. You
He's-
just knew.
He's
Yeah.
a spy. He's
That's
an
the
agent.
setup.
He's an agent, so you already know the setup that he's an agent. He's skillful, and he probably has
Yeah,
all these gadgets and he's working. So he's working. He has all the gadgets he needs. He's protecting.
Alright,
Because
it's-
that scene, he's
it's
protecting
worth
what's his
his
the
face.
time.
president or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Clive
worth his
Owen,
time to
there.
be carrying a capsule specifically
Just
for
in
it.
case.
How often is he
Maybe
getting
it's
trapped
like
in
a
cocoon?
Swiss Army knife where it's like it does a lot of different
Exactly.
things.
He's
and
like
one of them is
Batman.
cutting
Okay.
something.
It could help
That-
him breathe in space.
This
It could
would
help
all
him
be
whatever.
great if it was in any way shown in the film. We just see that one point where he puts it in his mouth,
Yeah.
it cuts him out of the cocoon, it goes back in the mouth thing, and we never see it again.
I will agree with you on that point where they could have probably did him getting dressed up and showed some of his equipment really quickly, not even going in detail. That way you get
Just
the idea
something.
he's ready
Yeah.
for shit to go down.
I did a little bit of research on this as well. Like I looked it up on IMDb, and they would have been just past Jupiter, based on how fast they were traveling and the time frame.
Like the city.
Yeah, the whole city would have been just past Jupiter. So this is all happening in our galaxy, which seems kind of weird. I don't know.
I thought they were stuck in that current.
I think the idea was that
they're on the
the-
Magellan current, whatever it's
Oh
called.
yeah.
Maybe
Oh
the
yeah,
current
yeah,
does
yeah.
negate that.
Yeah.
And also the aliens were coming to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no, that explains
okay,
that.
okay.
But it just kind of blew me away that like these wars were happening just kind of past Jupiter,
Yeah.
like in our galaxy.
So other than that one suit thing, the rest of the movie is
No.
Okay, I want to talk about some things that I liked about this movie.
Yes.
Because I'm going to talk about the main characters later on. But so the set piece of having an action scene that's in 2 dimensions.
That
I
was
thought-
amazing.
I
That was
love
really
that
good. I
as
like
just
that
like a sci-fi set piece where you're leveraging sci-fi technology, and it's like you have these two different dimensions. You have people coming in and out.
Yeah, that
I thought that was really cool.
I like that.
That was
Bubbles
that
was a really good
amazing.
character.
I love Bubbles.
I saw Rihanna on the trailers and I was like, oh no.
I hated.
And she actually did like, and this is something Luc Besson is really good at. Of just like having a side character that you genuinely care about and feel like is a real thing, like a real person.
Those are the two things, like the world building, like with the whole, the city itself, and then the two-dimensional
The
thing.
two-dimensional thing was
And-
so awesome.
Yeah,
I
and
love that so much.
and the side characters, like Bubbles. I think Bubbles was one of the concepts that she was a good idea, but like I don't know if it was Rihanna's fault. Maybe it's like half Rihanna's fault, half the writing.
I totally bought into the character.
No,
I bought
No,
into I bought into
No,
the character.
no.
I feel like if it wasn't Rihanna, then I would have been completely happy. But because it was Rihanna,
I think it was
like,
more so the writing because I liked the character. I liked who she was, the whole idea of the character, but it was so like just the way that she was talking, like no one talks like this.
Right.
because she's a
But like
morphing thing.
Yeah, she,
Like, not
she's
even-
the
not-
blue gal from The Fifth Element, right? Like she's that character.
Yeah, but like the blue girl, the
Opera singer.
opera singer, she like talks like a real thing. Like this is what sure an alien will talk like this, but it was the same problem that I had at the beginning of the movie where it's like you're the best, and I love you, marry me, like where she's like.
Yeah, that's the exact
Yeah,
emotional
but like
resonance of that moment.
Rihanna, it's so jarring to have like a great character like Rihanna, like Bubbles.
Yeah.
Her name was Bubbles.
Yeah.
Bubbles.
Like, oh, she's a shapeshifter, and then this is her job. I get it. That's great, awesome. But you're saying like, I can't even remember specific lines, but all I remember is that it was so like obvious.
I
that
don't remember that. At
I
all.
just feel like it was the one point in the whole movie where someone had like some real personality and
But no, like I thought all
actually
the
made
side
me
characters
care
did.
about
Like
him.
I thought Clive Owen as a like villain-ish.
Yes, I
he
liked
was
the-
Okay.
decent. The
He
three
did
annoying
well.
characters were like they were a little bit annoying, but they
The
were a good
birds.
concept, like a plot device.
The birds were good.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought that was
they're
fine.
Definitely
Yeah.
like
the
exposition.
alien creatures who like from the beginning planet.
Pearl.
Them
the
being
ones
like
shaking hands and
kind
all
of
this
the people
Or
who
the
were the
Pearl
villains, but it was like you get them, and
Yeah.
then they weren't like total like over the top villains.
Well, they
Like,
weren't
Villains, yeah.
the villains at all.
They weren't really the
actually.
villains. They were
Yeah,
the
like,
good
all
guy,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I liked all of these different periphery things. I just didn't give a shit about the people who were
Yeah.
taking us through that story.
Side note: those Pearl aliens, Carson especially
What?
liked them. Call back to a previous episode. I'm gonna leave
Let's
it there.
move on.
Wait, wait, before we move on, I just
Add
want
a
to say
link
one
somewhere
other
below.
thing about Bubbles before we leave. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and I just want to throw this out here. I was very upset when Bubbles died,
Yeah,
and I was additionally upset. Here's why I'm upset. Okay, how before Bubbles dies, you see her dodge so many things.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Laser
She
blast.
just-
It was kind of
laser
random.
blast,
whatever,
like,
yeah.
It's kind of random
Yeah,
how
her
she died.
dying doesn't make
Her
any
dying.
sense.
She
Like,
could have dodged it, and she
yeah,
could still survive.
Three people fall down in that explosion, right? Like the whatever the
And
collapse or
Bubbles.
whatever,
Yeah.
right? Two of them, totally solid flesh people.
Not even
One
bleeding.
person-
The people we
Really.
don't care
They're
about.
fine. They didn't even get a scratch on their face, even though it doesn't have anything on their face.
Meanwhile, Bubbles has like
Bubbles is-
like she's stabbed through.
No,
the...
you don't even see that. That would be something at least. No, she's
Yeah.
just kind of like, I'm hurt, and then she turns to dust. Like,
I'm
It-
okay with that because it fits her character.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it's like I'm willing to let things go if at a
it's
higher
the
level. it
moment
really
in
makes-
time.
Yeah.
I don't know that it fits her.
The problem that I had with that though is that it was like one, it was random, and two, like when she was talking after, like I think it was every time
When
she
she
was
was
talking.
dying? Oh, okay.
She's like, "Oh, I'm dying."
I love
Remember
that
me.
character.
I think it's
Maybe-
Rihanna's voice. I think
Maybe
because
she
it's
was
Rihanna's
originally
voice.
supposed to
Yeah.
survive, but then they were like, "Oh no, people care more about her than our main characters. We have to kill her off."
No, I don't remind. Like
That's
Rihanna
true.
did fine. It was a little bit robotic, I guess. Or, like it was maybe it was new for her to be
I
like
thought we're
voice
on the
acting.
same side here, Paula. We're
No.
gonna fight. You have a problem with Rihanna? She's the only good thing about this movie.
Whoa, Ethan Hawke.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Ethan Hawke.
we'll get to that later.
Yeah, that's-
No,
that's-
but like
Yeah.
just like I think maybe she had it was new for her to be voice acting because like the bubble and like her voice just like seemed so separate, and also the writing was just
Oh, the writing was bad.
The
Bad.
writing for
Terrible.
Rihanna. I
The
didn't
whole
like
movie
it.
was bad. Like,
Yeah.
writing.
The one thing I
Yeah.
kind of did like was inside the 1,000 Planets, they did have like a restricted black market kind of zone where all those aliens they do their own thing and
I did
it's
world
a
building. Like, the
nocturne-
yeah,
world
Yeah.
building of
the
whole
world
place
building was really good and
and that's
it's
his
more
strong
realistic.
suit.
I like it.
Just writing is not. I guess maybe if like if it was in French, he would have done.
But
Featured
the one
a
thing I
French
want to
actor.
ask, so I feel like if you had good main characters, this movie would completely change. And I was kind of like, Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevingne were completely miscast. Who would you put into those roles that would actually make this movie work?
You need someone with actual charisma. Like
You need like a young Will Smith.
I like Cara
And
Delevingne.
I would care. Immediately,
Because
I would
she's
care about this movie. But Cara Delevingne, it's like, that character, like, they have the one who's like the womanizer and the one character, like, Cara Delevingne's supposed to be the serious person. You should have the attractive one be the one who's like the womanizer. and like,
And not
they
the
were-
good
It's
creepy-looking
just
Dane
a solid
DeHaan.
format to have. Yeah. He's so
Dane DeHaan
creepy.
is not, like, we were talking about this before. Like, he's not the type who's like,
He's hot for a French guy.
I
Is he
didn't.
French?
I didn't like him as.
Oh, okay.
Not Venom.
Oh, wow.
What's the Spider-Man movie?
which
I didn't like him as.
Amazing Spider-Man.
he was
Oh,
Green
yeah,
Goblin.
yeah,
Green
right?
Goblin. I didn't like him as Green Goblin either. Like I don't like. I don't know if it's.
like,
just
he's a good actor. He was good in Chronicle, which we were talking about.
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
He's good in
But,
Chronicle.
like, that
He
was the
That's
thing.
not his role.
Because in Chronicle, he was like a weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays
Yeah.
weirdos
And he's a
super
weirdo.
And,
Yeah.
and in this movie, he's not supposed to be weirdo. I don't think he's supposed to be weirdo.
No,
I
he's
feel
not.
like-
Not at all.
Not at all.
Cast
He
Michael
is
B.
at
Jordan
all.
in that role. Although, cast Michael B. Jordan in any role.
Who
I
does
see.
Shadow
We're
Michael
on
B.
the same
Jordan?
page.
But, like,
Hey, shout out to Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah,
Hey,
like every episode.
he's the best.
but you need someone who's charismatic in that role and not Dane DeHaan.
Someone that you like.
And then you need like a straight-laced person for the Cara Delevingne role.
Honestly, I
I'm
think
trying to think who I'd put.
Cara Delevingne would have been fine if you had
A better main.
a lot more charisma.
Oh.
I
instead
would
of-
do a Creed reunion and do Michael B. Jordan and Tessa Thompson.
Hey, I'd be
Awesome,
cool with that.
awesome. Okay,
Wait,
here's
who's
here's,
this?
here's what I got.
She's,
I got it's a little bit
girl
older
from Creed.
because I'm a little bit older.
Oh,
Valkyrie.
yeah, oh, yeah. I like her.
Yes.
All right, check it out. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jill and Holly?
I don't like
He knows.
Is that his
He knows.
sister?
Yeah, that's Jake. Sorry, Maggie Gyllenhaal. No, Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway.
I don't-
You're not ready for it. That's the problem.
I did like
You're
Jake
not
Gyllenhaal in Love
ready
and Other
for it.
Drugs.
I was on your
and
team. No, I'm just
Until that, I liked him
Yeah,
in what's the boxing movie? Jake Gyllenhaal,
Oh,
Southpaw.
yeah,
Southpaw
is
and
good. He's a good-
Love and
he's-
Other
he's a
Drugs. I
Jarhead.
liked him in those
He's a
two.
good actor.
Jarhead
He
too.
was
Those are the
good.
three movies
Yeah.
I really like
Johnny
him in.
Darko, he was good.
Nightcrawler was amazing.
I don't think he's.
I didn't watch
Bubble
that yet.
Boy.
I don't
come
see.
on.
I don't see suave enough though from Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I
to
don't.
be-
I don't see
to
him
be-
as the main
No, that's-
character.
He can.
He
man.
can do it. He did it.
I'm
and,
sure he can.
He smoldered like shit in Prince of Persia, guys.
Oh yeah, that's
Hey,
on the
I'm-
list. Prince of Persia was.
I'm not taking away from his like good looks and his. I'm sure he is suave, but
Yeah.
like for the vision that I have for my recasting of Valerian, I don't think.
So who do you got?
I was gonna
I
say
should think
Alden
about this.
Ehrenreich because like the character's pretty much Han
What's his
Solo.
name?
Oh,
Which it was actually probably the inspiration for Han Solo because Valerian was the inspiration for Star Wars, and they ripped off most of the stuff from it because this is a graphic novel made from the '60s.
yeah.
But yeah, so like if you have that character as a Han Solo type character, the movie totally works. But they cast Dane DeHaan and it failed.
How
And
about Tom
Cara
Hardy though?
Delevingne.
Yeah.
How about Tom Hardy as the main character
Or
or
Tom Hardy cast in anything.
yeah, he
He
Tom
could be
Hardy's
a female
awesome
role,
too.
he'd still do well.
Yeah, Tom Hardy
um,
and or what's the other guy in Star Trek?
Tom Hiddleston.
Oh,
Tom
Chris
Oh, Tom
Pine.
Hiddleston. Chris. Was it
Chris
Chris,
Pine.
Chris
Chris
Pratt?
Pratt. I mean,
No,
he's
no.
the,
Pine.
No, Chris
Wait.
Pine.
Oh,
Pine.
okay.
That's what I mean. Sorry.
Yeah, Chris Pine. He was the.
Although Chris
the
Pratt
guy
would
in
also work.
He's
Wonder
in-
Woman. He's in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Chris Pine, I think he would do good. Both of those guys, they just have that
Chris Pine
alpha
would've-
male
yeah.
kind of
or
attitude. And
I'm
thing.
thinking Tom Hiddleston to not be like so far from Dane DeHaan. I guess maybe it'll keep with whatever Luc Besson was seeing in
Tom
his
Hiddleston
mind.
is a charming individual.
I
Yeah.
think
What
if he
about
changed it more to
The
charming,
Rock?
he could pull it.
The
off.
Rock.
No.
Come on.
No.
It'll
get
just
rid-
be every other movie. And
It's
I,
in every other
I kind of
movie.
want to see if The Rock played Clive Owen. Clive Owen did a good job as the villain, I think.
Because yeah, like he usually plays a straight-laced character. It's like
Yeah.
you don't expect it.
Yeah.
So like it was a good.
He was a solid good
Yeah, he was
villain.
super shitty. Like he seemed really like not
He
shitty.
just
Like he
douchebag.
wasn't good.
Like, he
but,
just knew he was
yeah, he
douchebag,
was
evil, whatever, yeah.
idiot, like bad guy. He just
Yeah.
was bad.
And he got a little more. I feel like he got more and more like sleazy towards the end. Like he
It
came.
becomes more clear.
But not cartoonish.
No, yeah.
No, yeah,
like,
I
like
don't
a-
know. Right at the end,
I
know,
I
but-
was like, I had to do it. Like, when he yells at everyone.
When he's
and
in the
I'm like,
cocoon?
Oh yeah,
The
when he's at
cocoon.
the just and
Yeah,
he's
I
like
guess.
tied up and shit.
But like you can see like a clear like downfall of his character. Which,
Right.
Sure,
Right.
it's good.
Yeah.
I still have huge problems though with like the writing, and it just sounds like robotic and terrible. But
I feel like maybe if they could have elaborated on a lot of things, but because of there's so much detail to Thousand Planets, like I feel like maybe if they split it up into 2 movies, made it like a little different. Do some
First
intro
500
movie first.
planets, second 500
That's what I mean. You have
planets.
to do like a first intro movie, and then maybe some other thing, and then end with this part where they go and have to save these
And save the Pearl people.
Yeah.
Oh, one more. Okay.
Final thoughts from Ben.
All right. Here's another thing about it. All right. No, like I found out that this is from the same people that did Avatar.
What?
Like the digital
from
effects?
digital effects is from the same team that
The
worked
digital
together.
effects were fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Except for Bubbles.
the Pearl.
What about the Pearl?
How close are they? Like, aren't they just water Navi? Like, think
I'm
about
slipping
their
up on
body
Avatar.
type.
I'm not going to comment anymore on their body types.
I feel like you said
Listen
too
back
much
and you'll know
in
why.
a previous
We'll look something
podcast.
later.
But like they are water Navi, okay? In terms, like they're
sure.
super long.
Sure.
They have that same like the only differences are where like tree versus. I feel
Tree
like
versus space.
everyone's looking at Carson like.
No, I'll make
he's
an
gonna
actual
get all-
point on this.
They do kind of look
They
like
look
that.
great,
They do.
don't they?
The fact that they like took their time to really establish that world in the beginning, I think was like a lot of people really rushed that moment of like just like
Yeah.
oh, here's some happy people and now they're dead.
That was-
And it's like they actually established of like these are some people that you can actually like respect their
There were
culture.
even
And it
characters
shows their
without,
lifestyle,
without
too.
even them talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it shows their lifestyle, like in the short little
because
bit that
you
they had
really
them,
need to
shows
give a shit
everything.
about them for like the whole movie to make sense. And
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
that's not the thing that held the movie back. Like that part worked. Again, all these parts worked.
Yeah.
Except the main characters.
It's
which is-
unfortunate that they
ruined
didn't
the
show
movie.
up until halfway through the movie.
Yeah, well, like if they didn't follow that immediately with like the main characters being introduced, like I literally thought, based on how bad that was, like the main characters talking to one another, that they just were never going to go back to the Pearl.
Yeah.
I literally thought that was just going to be it. Like, oh yeah, no, it's a tough
This
world
is
out
what the
there.
world is like.
Yeah, things get blown up sometimes, guys, and then that would be it for them. Like that's where we live.
All right, I guess the general consensus is that the main characters were bad. The movie was okay.
Movie was good.
Had a
Could
lot
have
of
been
potential.
pretty good, and
Potential.
it has
Here's
a lot
the
of
other thing.
potential. Yes.
You make
Okay,
this movie with good
real
main-
last point.
You make this movie with good main characters, and I think it would rival Fifth Element. But I think the reason why
Yes.
people might hear that and say, "Oh no," is because there's a lot of like iconic imagery around.
Yeah.
If you released Fifth Element today, it would not do as well as it did initially.
Oh, I would make it do well.
But like,
I would not like it. Fifth
it
Element.
has all those same type of premises. Like, it's a very similar type of movie that works well for the same reasons. Fifth Element is iconic. I don't know if it holds up as well, and it's like you released this movie like 15 years ago, it would be, I think, as iconic.
No,
as
I
Fifth
think on
Element.
straight camp and charisma, I think Fifth Element would still at least be like a cult classic still if it was released today. I think so.
I don't know. If they change it up a bit, maybe.
Anyways,
Yeah, I guess that's it for Valerian. So we all agree on it.
we all don't
We-
agree
we do
still.
not.
Yeah, we don't agree.
There was not anywhere near enough Rihanna in that movie. I just want more of Bubbles, more of Rihanna. If they did a spin-off where she's not real dead guy, they collected the dust and now they put her back in the water. And
Funny
she's
you
dead
should
now.
mention that. After the break, after the commercial break, we will be having a bracket tournament of side characters from Luc Besson movies to see which deserves their own spin-off movie. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Keep watching. You'll see it.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a commercial?
Time. I don't know. One, two, three.
I opened it a second too.
Okay. Well, welcome back to We Have a Podcast.
My bad. There you
Hope you
go.
enjoyed that commercial break. I don't really know how that's gonna work. We just took a little break ourselves. But we're going to move right along with our getting to know you section with Joe.
What's up?
A rapid fire question round.
Which
like
I'm
we
not
had
ready
with-
for.
with Ben. So, Joe, are you ready?
No.
No? Good.
All right.
First question. Who is more annoying, Jar Jar Binks or Ruby Rod?
Jar Jar Binks.
Good answer. Which Jurassic Park character would you be?
The Velociraptor.
The Vel- I'm seeing
Yeah,
a
it's my
meme.
crush.
Yep.
Speaking
Velociraptor.
of crush, who is your man crush in any movie?
Ryan Gosling. In
Right.
every movie that Ryan Gosling's been in.
He was my man crush too, but now it's Michael B. Jordan. Would you rather live on Naboo or in Gungan City?
Gungan City seems like fun.
Even though you don't like Jar Jar Binks?
No.
Okay.
Seems like they party. They have
don't
all
like him
parties.
either.
Yeah, they hate Jar Jar too.
Oh,
No,
well,
he's in
actually,
general now.
maybe I might go Naboo because Natalie Portman's still there, right?
She's not. She's dead.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Mission Impossible 3, where they can like put the face,
The digital face thing, yeah.
Right.
Who would you be if you have that technology?
Ryan Gosling, so I can get girls.
Yeah, that's fair.
There you go.
Finally, Margot Robbie or Scarlett Johansson?
Ooh. I went for Margaret. My mind went right to Margaret
Because
Robbie?
she's the first
Have you
one
seen
I
Ghost
said.
in the Shell though?
But Ghost in the Shell, that's what I mean. That's a tough one. They're both.
Is Ghost in the Shell something I should watch?
I fell asleep.
If you want to look at Scarlett Johansson, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
yes. If you like Scarlett Johansson, definitely.
But I don't want to, so I fell asleep.
Yeah, Margaret Robbie.
Margot Robbie?
Margot Robbie.
Okay.
Scarlett Johansson's still good though.
We're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about their acting ability, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Everything. Yeah, acting ability.
Yeah, they have big, beautiful acting. Continue next question.
This is gonna help you get girls, man.
Ryan Gosling face mask.
Everyone
Okay.
can see what you look like.
That's great. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Of course not.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to be like the longest pause. But anyways, moving on. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, so that was it, right? Yes.
that's
it.
you're off the hook.
I hope I did good on those
You have to
questions.
deal with the backlash later.
That's Future Joe's problem.
So for the main event of the evening, for the day actually, because we're getting day drunk right now,
Woo.
we're going to have our bracket tournament of Luc Besson characters. We're going to decide who most deserves their own spin-off. I'm talking to the camera, but I should be talking to the mic. So I have selected a spread of 8 side characters from notable Luc Besson movies.
Yes.
I have a bracket here that I am showing to the camera.
We'll add it somehow in a picture or something if you guys can't see
So
it.
the screen on the back is off. Is that fine?
Yeah, the
Okay,
screen
we're
turns
still
off. Yeah, the
recording.
screen
Okay,
on the back
cool.
turns off.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you can see this.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah, the light's still flashing.
Alright.
We're good.
Sorry, this is very new for us. But anyways, so I'm gonna introduce the characters first, and then our panel of judges will decide who moves on, and then when we finally find out who is the winner of the tournament, we will build that spin-off movie for them a little bit if we have time. So first rank, the first seed, of our tournament is Stansfield from Leon the Professional. He is the main villain.
Villian.
Played played by Gary Oldman. He's the pill-popping dirty cop. We'll get into more of that later. More of who they are. We'll flesh it out together as a team.
While we discuss.
Yes, as a Houston, we have a podcast team. Number 2, Jolly the Pimp from Valerian, played by Ethan Hawke. He is Bubbles' pimp, Rihanna, in that movie.
Second best character in the whole movie.
He's up there. He's up there.
Second only to Bubbles.
I have to admit, it was a little jarring seeing Ethan Hawke just come out of nowhere. It's like, are you okay? Do you need work?
So good in it.
But he was great. He was actually really good. I enjoyed it. That's why he's ranked so high. Number 3, we have Diva Plava Laguna, the blue alien opera singer from The Fifth Element. She hides the stones in her belly somehow. Rest in peace, Diva. Seated number 4, we have Commander Aaron Fillet. I have no idea if I'm saying his name right. Fillet, sure. He's played by Clive Owen, also from Valerian and the City of City.
We're at that point of the episode.
Did he say Sin City twice?
It's like 3 times.
Camera, beers. Yes.
Breakfast.
Explanation.
This is breakfast.
It's true, yeah, no one's really eaten, right?
Yeah. Side note, we have pizza coming, so we could be interrupted at any time.
Arriving in 5 minutes.
Okay. So played by Clive Owen, he is the villain of Valerian that you don't realize until the end. Spoiler alert. We gotta start saying that before we spoil things.
No, you started in the very beginning because
Yeah,
everything's a
we
spoiler.
covered Valerian.
Yeah, we covered
It's
Valerian.
spoiled.
I already forgot. Seated ranked 5th, Ruby Rod, played by Chris Tucker.
Yes.
One of my favorite characters from Fifth Element in the leopard I don't know
Prince
what is
shoulder
bodysuit.
thing.
Yeah, like if Prince just loved crack.
You would get Ruby
I could
Rod,
see
Right.
that.
Yeah, like, oh man, you know what's better than life? Cocaine. If Prince felt that.
Okay, right after Ruby Rod, we have the Korean gangster guy. I have no idea what his name is. From the movie Lucy, he is the one who actually makes Lucy or Scarlett Johansson into the drug mule, setting everything in action.
Yeah. He's in a lot of other. Korean
He's in a
movies.
lot of other
He's
Korean
in a
movies.
lot of Korean movies.
Examples, anyone?
Old Boy.
He's in Old Boy?
I think
Was he in
He is in
Old
Old
Boy?
Boy.
he's the
main guy.
The main guy in the original Korean Old Boy.
Yes.
His best movie, in my opinion, is I Saw the Devil with him
I haven't
and
Wait.
the guy who's G.I. Joe, the Korean guy in G.I. Joe.
I haven't seen. Oh, that guy.
Young
that guy,
Hun Lee.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
anyway,
see that.
it's fucking phenomenal. Go see it.
He's also in Nameless Gangster and a few other
Yes,
ones.
that's the guy.
Really?
Yeah. He's the original dude from Old.
Not
He's the original.
Not
Old
the
Boy.
Samuel L. Jackson Old Boy, to be clear, not that one.
I was like, let's get this guy out of here shortly, but now that I know that it's that guy,
Yes.
He's a really good actor.
Okay.
he's really good.
So, seventh, we have blind Morgan Freeman from
Yes.
Unleashed.
No, Leon.
No, Unleashed.
Oh, Unleashed. Sorry, yes, Unleashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the-
that's the
Jet Li's
Jet Li movie
new dad thing.
where he has a leash and
Bob
he's
Hoskins is a total dick to him.
like Bob Hoskins
Yes.
is his like handler and he's just like when the leash is off he like martial arts people to death.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
That's
exactly what-
Yeah. And sorry, blind Morgan Freeman. We don't know his character's name either. We'll look it up. But basically, when Jet Li goes on the run, blind Morgan Freeman, BMF takes him in and takes care of him. Number 8, Lucy from Lucy. Before the drugs take over her system. We don't know too much about her character. We have like little glimpses throughout the movie, but she seems like a pretty basic bitch. But
Yeah.
who knows? She could make an upset here
Right.
and get
So-
her own spin-off.
Early Lucy.
Early Lucy.
Right.
And-
not Lucy after the movie.
No, pre Lucy,
Yes.
pre movie, prequel.
Okay.
And Morgan Freeman's name is Sam. in the
Sam,
movie.
thank you. I'm still
Give-
gonna
give
call
him a
blind
name.
Morgan
Right,
Freeman.
yeah. That's
Blind
like,
Sam.
I like-
what's his name? Sam. Stop
No,
asking
no.
questions.
Blind Morgan Freeman.
Blam Sam.
Yeah, no, Sam is a lot better than blind Morgan Freeman.
I'm thinking Blind Morgan Freeman.
All right, wishing no
Ill will
bad
to
ill
him.
will on Morgan Freeman.
If he loses his sight tomorrow, it's on you, Papa.
It is on Houston. We have a podcast. We're a team
Yeah.
here.
He,
Did it.
he doesn't need a site to narrate.
All right, our first matchup will be Stansfield, Gary Oldman versus Lucy from Lucy.
Oh, that's a good
Uh,
one.
oh.
With the Korean gangster? Or no?
No,
No,
it's
no,
Lucy.
Lucy.
It's
Oh,
actually-
Lucy.
it's
Oh, yeah,
actually
prequel Lucy.
our number 1 seed versus
Okay,
our number
okay.
8 seed.
Okay, so I'm going to take the populist vote here right away and say Stanfield. Here's why. Because we're pitching a spin-off movie,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot that has to go into someone becoming so messed up that they would think about killing a kid.
And he's not even dead.
It could be even like a movie afterwards, too. So
It could be a-
Does he not die?
He doesn't. Does he?
Doesn't he, like, I have a
Oh, no,
present
he
for
dies.
you
Oh, my bad.
from Matilda.
Wow.
And then it's just
Oh,
his,
okay, okay.
you know, like
The-
all
the
the
grenades.
grenades on him.
So
Yeah,
he's dead.
He's dead. So it's got to be prequel.
Prequel,
I
so,
mean,
okay.
I
I
mean,
forgot
it's,
about
it's
that.
off screen.
Spoiler
so-
alert for the professional. Spoiler alert for the professional.
for a movie from the 1990s.
Super late.
Spoiler alert for any
Okay,
movie we
so
talk about.
popular opinion, Stansfield is the
Personally, I feel like Stansfield has a lot more than what like the
Lucy
whoever
would
Lucy
offer.
was before.
I
Also,
would agree with that one.
It depends on what movie you want to see, because like if you want to see maybe one of those what's it, Bad Moms or like Girls Trip movies. I feel like that's what Lucy's character was before.
That's exactly what it is.
like
That's what I mean.
from the very first scene, she's like, "Oh, I have homework."
She's
and
such
Okay,
a-
I was
innocent-
troubled, but now I'm on Stansfield.
Like, how do you point
Yeah.
towards like okay? Here's my question for like the Lucy prequel. How do you foreshadow it? Like, is she?
Exactly.
Is it the movie Euro Trip? But there's like people just like around her. Like, wait a second.
Wouldn't it? Oh, but that could be like a really dark movie though.
That's
like
what I mean,
she's,
it has
she's
to be a
living
dark-
her life.
It has to be
But
a
like
dark
then there's
movie.
like subtle hints throughout. Like her boyfriend is like a sleazebag, and then he's like a drug dealer.
Or it could be
And
one
then
of those
there's like
thriller
Korean
movies.
gangsters around like all the time at the clubs that she goes to.
I was thinking for Lucy, it could be like a thriller movie where like she was all nice and stuff in high school, whatever, and then like some weird trauma thing. She's on an island with killers. She's the only survivor.
Whoa.
I don't know.
This is going really...
Yeah, but then she's some survivor, of some crazy thriller movie, and then somehow it leads into the drug mule thing. But I'm still going with Gary
Yeah,
Oldman.
no, I think
I would rather watch
because,
Gary
like,
Oldman.
You could even do like all like his gang. How does his gang get to that point?
With,
right?
like,
The white
Rasta.
Rastafari.
Yeah,
Yes.
White Rastafari.
Do you have any other arguments for Lucy before?
So I was totally on board with Stansfield, and then you're saying I'd rather watch Gary Oldman than Scarlett Johansson, and there's part of me saying I'd rather look at Scarlett Johansson for 2 hours.
Yes.
Um,
That's the upside.
But no, Stansfield, like, Lucy doesn't really have a character before that movie.
She doesn't, but think of the possibilities.
You could literally do any
Yeah.
type, like, you could do a rom-com, you could do, like, any movie that has nothing to do with Lucy or Luc Besson, and it would still be a movie. And it's just, like, it's too disconnected, whereas I feel like Stansfield has a unique character where you can actually be the same character and do something.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Lucy, like, because of the way Lucy was, it kind of has to either be dark or...
I mean, I wouldn't mind that.
I feel
but-
like going from happy, like, a happy mom movie thing to, like, Lucy, it gets dark. It's a weird transition. So it has to be, like, either something
All right,
similar.
I guess.
Yeah.
So Gary
Okay.
Oldman would make a better movie.
So, with a sweep, Gary Oldman, Stansfield moves on.
Yes.
So our next matchup, we have Ruby Rod versus Commander Aaron Fillett. So Chris Tucker versus Clive Owen.
Ruby Rod. Ruby Rod.
I'm going to just say it. I think Ruby Rod should move
Yes.
on.
I think Ruby Rod is a terrible character for a solo movie. I think great character to add into a movie to spice it up, but like I just can't do that for 2 hours or even like a 90-minute movie. I think the Captain Fillet or whatever his name is, you could do like there's a story there that would like had happened that you could maybe talk like give that movie from the perspective of someone who thinks he's the protagonist and he's trying to do like a good job and
I
you're,
think
like,
that's
trying
like,
to justify it.
That's like a basic like war/politic story.
Yeah,
though.
you
That's
War
fine.
movie.
But
War movies are
Clive
good.
Owen makes a good character
Yeah.
for that. So
But
I
I
would
think-
be interested in seeing it.
Like, I think everyone's getting caught up in Ruby Rod's first introduction where he's like, "Come on, Dallas!" And he's like all like really annoying. But like when he's out, like when he's off air,
He's still really an irritating
a
character.
little,
off
yeah. But like,
At
no.
best, it would be like a buddy cop movie where it's him and someone else who's
Jackie
a lot
Chan.
more.
So we're making Rush Hour. in
Make
space
another Rush Hour in space.
with more annoying.
now I
Chris
kind
Tucker.
of want Ruby Rod movie if it's gonna be Rush
Like,
Hour in
hey.
space.
Okay, so when
Yeah.
we first talked about the bracket, I was like, okay, I hate the idea of seeing a movie with Ruby Rod in it for like an hour and a half, 2
Yeah.
hours. But the more I'm thinking about it, like, what if he isn't Ruby Rod when the movie starts, right?
Right.
Like, although
How did he get to that?
'Cause he
point?
doesn't-
That's his
start-
persona while he's
I
No,
don't
well,
think that's a
no,
persona.
what if it isn't a persona?
That is
right?
so core to who he is. He's been
Exactly,
like that since he was 5
exactly.
years old.
Exactly. Can you imagine a 5-year-old being like, I'm 5? You know, like, that would be crazy.
Damn.
It wouldn't make any
Yeah.
sense. Hey,
so
Rosa.
Food's here, just for a heads up for viewers that don't know why Rosa's barking.
You mean listeners?
listeners,
Yeah,
listeners, and viewers.
Yeah, sure.
But pretty much, I was actually also on the borderline. I originally went with Ruby Rosa. I originally went with Ruby Rod, but then eventually, as Carson made some points, I'm actually going towards Clive Owen.
Really?
Because the Ruby Rod movie, yeah, it'd be good. Whatever.
Yeah.
Only if he did a buddy cop one. A solo movie by itself, no. But Clive Owen, he could do a solo movie. He could do he could do a buddy cop movie,
Okay,
whatever.
I saw
And
Battlestar Galactica. All right?
okay, not Battlestar Galactica,
I'm
but
just saying, that's what it would be.
I'm thinking because the way they laid out the fight scene, spoiler, it's in the first 5 minutes of Valerian, whatever.
Oh.
Where there's actually no, it's still there, but whatever.
Which one?
The one where they're fighting the airships before he nukes the planet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Right,
it reminded me of the movie Ender's Game for a second. Which I thought the battle scenes, the whole layout of it reminded me of StarCraft. It was a good movie. So if Clive Owen were to do a movie like that, where it's a space battle movie, and it shows him becoming a commander, I would like that more than the Ruby Rod Rush Hour duo thingy.
I mean, personally, I would in this case, I would be looking for something very different, which would be the Ruby Rod biopic.
I'm really on the fence about this. Like, I feel like both of them you have potential. The Ruby Rod one is huge risk. Like, you'd really need a main character to come in and absolutely just like make it
That's
work.
why I like it. Like, I think like we've seen the Space General movie.
You know what? I like risks. I'm going on Ruby Rod.
I've been all in on Ruby Rod this whole conversation.
I started with Ruby Rod and ended up with Clive Owen.
Okay, we have a split decision. It's Ruby Rod.
It's Ruby Rod.
Yeah.
Ruby Rod won this.
3-1.
3-1.
2-1. I'm the judge. I didn't even say that.
No, you're.
He's just trying to influence.
Yeah.
Alright.
So yeah, Ruby Rod's on that.
Wow, with the upset, Ruby Rod moves on. Well, Ruby Rod was
According to
ranked.
your rankings.
According to my
According to
personal rankings, which is based on nothing.
But that's seed 5 versus 4.
Yeah, that's like it can go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with our next 3 seed versus our 6 seed, we have Diva Plava Laguna versus the Korean gangster from Lucy.
Korean gangster.
Wait. Go. Who's
Diva Plava Laguna, the opera singer from The Fifth
Oh,
Element.
Korean gangster. That was a weird setup.
Does
Korean
she
gangster
speak
movie.
English?
She speaks English.
Okay.
What was she in any other movies, or was that her only real
Who's
movie?
the actress for it?
Yeah, I don't know who the actress
Oh,
is.
she has one name. I looked it on IMDb.
That's
Oh
pretty.
yeah, like
it's like-
she was hired because
it's
of
like
her ability to do that opera.
That's-
Oh,
thing.
so-
That's pretty
Her
badass to
real
have
name
one
is
name
like
though.
Minnie or something like that.
So she's not really an actress.
No.
She's more of a singer. That's
I
what
mean, it
it
doesn't
is.
have to be her. It's Diva Plava Laguna, not.
So we'll
Not that,
reiterate,
yeah.
the guy who plays the Korean gangster, he was the main character in Old Boy.
Yes.
He's in a phenomenal movie called I Saw the Devil.
Yes.
He's in a lot, like, really, really good actor.
He's just a complete
versus
badass.
someone who doesn't act.
And
Okay,
sings.
but we're not
Only
She
sings.
did pretty well.
We're not talking about
Only
the acting.
sings.
Okay, so you were talking
When
about we could recast
Yeah,
those.
when we do the
Okay.
Ruby Rod. Oh my god. When we do the Ruby Rod movie, like that's not Chris Tucker because it's a prequel. It's like
can you see
Chris
anyone
Tucker's
else, like-
kid.
You could still use.
You know, like O'Shea Jackson, but Chris Tucker's O'Shea Jackson.
I can't
So
see
Chris
anyone
Tucker-
playing Ruby Rod except
only
Chris Tucker.
It has to be Chris Tucker, but like
anyone
a
could
younger.
do that.
No.
No,
You are
no.
trying to tell me that there isn't another thin guy with a high pitched voice that could.
It's
just
so
do
much more
Ruby
than
Rod.
that. Like, Chris Tucker
His
has that
mannerisms and stuff
yeah.
too. It's everything. Yeah.
There-
that's,
Chris Tucker is not. He's
Anyone
a
else-
funny
He's his
guy.
own character
He is
kind of thing.
not a strong
But
actor.
that character is so much rooted by, I think, what Chris Tucker developed. Like, anyone else who does that role is someone doing a Chris Tucker impersonation.
Yeah, it-
like,
Chris-
you need Chris
But
Tucker.
you
Exactly,
can
yeah.
do it. It's
But
not
but
a
Chris
subtle
Tucker is
thing.
an original
Whereas, like,
character
the opera
person.
actress, you
kind
can
of thing.
recast that with anybody, and it's fine.
Just get any singer to do it.
Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys. I don't know why I said
so
Alicia Keys.
all right. So not going back to Ruby Rod though. So it sounds like Korean gangster. You guys are solid.
I'm saying Korean gangster because all of his
What-
movies
what
I've ever
movie?
seen of him.
But what movie would no? Like we're thinking about the
But
Korean
in
gangster
Lucy,
from Lucy.
Lucy, his prequel
Like,
to
not the
him
gu-
becoming like how he got into the gangster
Not even
world.
a prequel. Like
It's actually because he was in a movie called Nameless Gangster. I could see him like the movie's intertwining somehow of his character in that one, where he shows him like being, I guess, an innocent person to how he became a
Okay.
gangster.
Yeah. Honestly, that
to
movie,
Lucy.
like that movie's just generic Korean gangster movie, which like I'm okay with. Like you can do so many different
Yeah.
things with that.
okay.
All right,
Whereas,
It's a,
like,
it's a safe choice.
I just want to say that it is a split because I'm still with.
You're for Diva.
Yeah.
What's the argument?
So here's the thing.
There's
all
so
right?
much mystery around her.
Korean gangster doesn't exactly have a movie built into it, right? You're gonna have to build the entire thing, and it's really not gonna be related to the previous movie at all,
Yeah.
right? It'll be its own self-contained thing about this character.
Oh, he could be a
But-
drug.
or like how he ended up being in a position where he could turn someone into a thing. So that's fair. But with like the Diva Laguna, Pava Laguna, how did she get that shit in her stomach? Right? That could
There's
be the movie.
questions. So
The movie
many
could
questions.
be how
Okay.
she got to that point.
You think about like that's an idea that a lot of prequels are made under that assumption of like, oh, how did that happen? How did Darth Vader become Darth Vader? Not
okay.
like, and then you learn it, and it's like, I wish I had just known it as the mystery.
This is the most passion I've ever seen.
Okay, right. No, that's a good
Glad you
point.
can see it.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
I'm still
I
going
think
with
that's-
Korean gangster.
Well, like,
I feel like the
I
chick
think
just
there's
ate
an
diamonds.
argument there, but it's not how did she get rocks in her
With
stomach.
Korean gangster.
So
I'm
so
just
far you're just saying how she got rocks in her stomach, not on
Yeah.
her character at all. But the Korean gangster, he could have some sort of
You can have a
character
Black
because he.
Swan-esque, like space opera singer, like weird movie like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you can totally.
I feel like there's a good movie there, but it's not how did she get the rocks in her stomach.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
exactly.
Just saying, there's at least a little bit of stuff. We're talking about the guy as Korean gangster.
I
And-
love
and-
Korean gangster movies, so I'm like, that's
Yes,
enough
exactly.
for me.
I love them too.
And the
Okay.
guy survives he's still alive in the movie. We don't see what happens to him, so
I'm
we
gonna be
assume
honest. I've only seen half the movie.
he's still.
so
I
don't
think
know.
he's still alive at
I
the
don't
end, I think.
remember.
The last I saw,
I can't
he had
remember.
knives in
Okay,
both his
so
hands.
the
Yeah.
assumption is he's alive.
The assumption he's alive. I can't remember who went after Lucy, whatever.
So that
but
gives us the opportunity to do like in
do
the
some after
future.
movie as well. Yeah.
He has a real chip on his shoulder now that he's been stabbed by his drug
And
deal.
it's like,
Exactly.
because it's in the future, you could have, because Lucy's off like in the internet somewhere, right? And she could be like,
Some
she could
future
cameo in the movie.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Scarlett
Okay.
Johansson.
So,
Right, so-
Korean.
So-
I'm sorry. I apologize to our Korean audience for not learning his name. Korean gangster.
Kim Mi-suk?
I'm gonna look up his name
Thank
while you move on.
Okay.
You
Uh,
probably should not guess.
No, I think it's Min-suk. Is his last name or his family name?
I hope you're close.
moving right along to our
I have no idea.
our last first round matchup, we have Jolly the Pimp from Valerian, played by Ethan Hawke, versus Blind Morgan Freeman, aka Sam, from Unleashed.
So Unleashed,
Yes.
yeah, Unleashed,
Yes.
Blind
So,
Morgan Freeman,
Blind
or
Morgan Freeman.
or who?
Whoa.
Or who?
Or
Same.
Jolly the Pimp from Valerian, Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, 100%.
I'm
Oh.
also pro Ethan Hawke. I love Morgan Freeman. I love Ethan Hawke more.
I think.
I'm going with.
Oh,
I was
it's a
thinking
clean
Morgan.
sweep?
Yeah, I was thinking Morgan Freeman for a bit because it would be curious to like maybe Morgan Freeman before he became, I guess, domestic and he's just like regular. Like he's just a regular dude now. He's just like
Just a regular pimp.
Regular
now it
dude.
becomes like-
No, wait, did I say Ethan Hawke or did I say Morgan Freeman?
No, you said Morgan
Freeman.
Freeman.
Yeah.
How did he become?
Yeah, so
Blind
before he
Morgan
become,
Freeman?
yeah. So in the movie, pretty much he lost his wife. So
I mean, that could be like.
I feel like he could have been like some huge
a real
gangster.
Oscar-winning drama.
Yeah, he was a huge gangster. He lost his wife, then became modest.
A
and
huge
then
gangster?
and then met Jet Li. It could go anyway, but I still think even if it went that way, I'd probably go with Ethan Hawke because I feel like that would be something I'd be willing to watch more.
Honestly, there's only one real choice: Ethan Hawke.
Ethan
I want the
Hawke.
Space Spin movie because it's like, how many different types of aliens can you
Yeah.
pimp out? It's like,
His name is Jolly the Pimp.
That's it. It would
That's
just
awesome.
And
it would just be him pimping out
the
different
funniest
species.
I've ever seen Ethan
Oh,
Hawke.
and he seems so down for it. Like
He's having so much
into
fun.
it. Like, I'm Jolly the Pimp.
Exactly.
Like, all right, yes. All right.
That was
Jolly
the easiest
Pimp.
one by
That was
far.
a sweep. That was a
Not
sweep.
even the
That
1
was-
versus 8 seed. That was
No.
the 2 versus 7, and that was the easiest.
Yeah.
But
for
before you go on
sure.
the next one, the name for the Korean gangster, his name is Min Sik Choi.
Min
Pretty
Sik Choi.
close.
Min
I
Sik-
would say that's
Carson was
pretty
close. Yeah,
man.
Carson
I'm
got it
still
on
going
point.
to call him Korean gangster guy.
I'm
Okay.
gonna call him Korean gangster.
So,
Alright, what's the
semifinal
seed?
round.
All right.
We have Stansfield versus Ruby Rod.
Oh,
my God.
that one's hard. That's two different. That's
It's
two
tough.
different characters, like two different
man.
styles of movie that
Oh,
you
yeah,
could do.
Yeah,
For
two
definitely.
completely different movies.
I'm just
One-
trying to. I'm
One's
try-
on Earth and is like a training day kind of vibe.
You can still make it
almost.
space.
Yeah.
You can still make
Well,
both.
okay,
of
that
okay.
would be no.
Oh,
Like,
actually, yeah, no,
Stansfield can't go
he
into
can't go into space
He
now,
can't go
yeah,
into
yeah.
space. Ruby Rod's
He's dead.
definitely in space.
One
Yeah.
big complaint I had with Stansfield is that, like, aside from, like, being Gary Oldman and, like, pretty, like, dangerous, crazy, corrupt cop guy, excuse me, there wasn't much character there.
it's Gary Oldman.
It's Gary
know.
Oldman.
I know.
though.
Like,
Yes,
that's
exactly.
one of my pluses.
Like, he
Part
would
of the
literally
reason-
angrily brush his teeth into the camera and be like, oh fuck, something's going on.
Everyone.
Part of the reason you do a spin-off movie is you take a character and you learn more about them.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can develop that character more, whereas with Ruby Rod, like, again,
I'd be
how
more.
much can you develop?
I think you can really develop.
I think you can develop him, but I would still be more interested in Gary Oldman over Ruby Rod. I still want to know what the fuck happened with Ruby Rod and how he got to where he was.
What happened after he saved the world?
Yeah, after,
Like,
before,
his radio
whatever.
show probably blew up.
Exactly,
This is
but
what we're going for here.
Gary
And there
Oldman.
are- yeah, the options are there.
Yeah, but I think I'd still be more interested in Gary Oldman. I'm thinking of what movies are out right now. Are there more sci-fi movies,
Help me
more
out,
like
Ball.
more
Okay,
old school
you're-
gangster movies?
I can't
Because
believe
he's a
I'm in
gangster,
this
pretty much.
position, but I feel like there are more options with Ruby Rod. Okay, I can't believe
With
I'm saying
Ruby
that.
Rod
But
as the main character,
that's
though?
accurate.
Yes, yes.
Because, like, I feel like with Ruby, like,
What if there's
I don't think he could be the main
away-
character. He has to be like partners with someone
He has to be not Ruby Rod.
Think about it. No. He is Ruby Rod
with Jackie Chan.
forever, right? And then how do people deal with Ruby Rod at a diner? How do you deal with Ruby Rod if he's getting shots at school? Like, how do you deal with Ruby Rod as Ruby Rod?
Or like, what if he wanted to be a serious journalist when he first started?
Ruby Rod goes to prom. Ruby Rod goes to, plays his first basketball game. Like,
I think I'm switching over actually to the Ruby Rod.
Yes.
I started with Gary Oldman. I'm pretty sure I started with,
Yes.
but only because it's a sci-fi movie and there's so much you could do with sci-fi. Where Ruby Rod, he grew up on some weird planet, and there's
We need
sci-fi. I'm going with sci-fi
Let
on this
Carson
one.
defend-
So the potential of a Ruby Rod movie makes me think of the TMNT 2 movie that came out.
I'm
Where
very familiar with it, yes.
I did not like it.
Out of the Shadows.
Nah.
the character who he plays the Falcon, the guy who's on Arrested Development, what's his name? Anyway,
I don't know his real name.
Job.
Job, yes.
Yeah, I don't know his real name though.
Post this picture here.
Oh my
so-
god.
picture
Will
is-
Arnett.
Will Arnett, yes,
Will Arnett.
and he has this
Oh!
character where he saves the world in the first movie, and because they can't let the turtles take credit for it, he takes all the credit.
Yes.
And so he's like, I saved the world, now I'm going to breathe into a bag and I'm going to sell my oxygen to other people.
Very aware of what you're speaking of. I celebrate that film.
But it's like, that's what I see a post-Fifth Element Ruby Rod movie being like, and I just think that's the worst thing ever, because that movie was bad. Those scenes with Will Arnett were the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, they were so bad.
The movie was good.
Whoa.
Carson,
This is for another episode.
Carson recommends Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. He brought it up.
No, I
He
would
brought
not
up that
recommend
movie.
See it
that.
right into the
He brought
camera.
up that movie specifically. Carson, big fan. TMNT 2.
I gave that movie a 5 out of 100
Oh
score.
shit!
Oh,
But I
damn.
did see it in theaters opening weekend.
Oh, and you saw. Oh, God, I would have
And to
not
be
have seen that in
fair,
theaters.
5 through 6 are films that gave him a boner. That's part of it. He hates his own worst.
All right, I guess Stansfield. Oh no, wait.
No.
Ruby Rod? No.
I am voting Stansfield.
I'm Ruby Rod.
Ruby Rod.
I don't
I went with
stop.
Ruby
Don't
Rod.
stop, don't stop. Ruby Rod.
Ruby Rod.
Damn.
You're the judge, so
I
you can still
actually-
balance it. What do you want?
No, it still
okay.
goes by our
You're
vote.
gonna go
Yeah.
against popular vote?
No, I was gonna say based off my popular vote.
Who are you, Trump?
Based off these arguments, I actually started leaning more towards Stansfield.
Oh,
But I mean, like the
We
people.
gotta go by the
The
people.
people matter
You gotta go with
here.
the people. You gotta go with the people. I am
people
very
matter here.
scared.
Ruby
I have
Rod.
more opportunities to talk about why I don't like a Ruby Rod movie.
That's fine, yeah.
I'm scared of the possibility for a Ruby Rod movie. in the
So
final.
with a huge
Yeah.
upset, Ruby Rod defeats
The more we talk about it, the more
Officer
I'm into it.
Stansfield.
Yeah.
All right. So we have.
Mama! I want milk, Mama! Right? Like, that would be great.
Our other semifinal match. We
Yeah, that
have.
makes me think of the movie where, like, wasn't there like an Adam Sandler? Yeah, there's a movie where Adam in Funny People.
Was he? Oh,
Yeah.
He's
He's
playing like a
What?
I
movie
can't remember
where
that.
it's like Adam Sandler's face on a baby.
Oh.
That's what that makes me think of. And now, like, every idea that we have for a Ruby
It
Rod
makes me
movie,
think of Little Man.
Is
it makes me think of the worst movie idea ever.
So it's just it's downhill from here.
All right.
Okay. Don't worry. We get to make the movie.
Yeah.
So now we have Korean gangster guy from Lucy.
Min-sik Choi.
Can you say it into the mic?
Min-sik Choi.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, that's good.
Versus Jolly the Pimp.
Oh, that's Jelly the Pimp.
I'm going Korean Gangster.
Oh, guys.
Korean Gangster, 100%.
That guy's a really good actor, but Jelly the Pimp.
I gotta
Think about the
go.
character.
Okay, I have to think about the character. I'll take myself back for a second, because Korean Gangster, he has been playing a lot of Korean Gangster movies.
I
The
know you
last
have
few
a
ones I've
soft
seen.
spot for Korean guys, but I mean
For Koreans.
Korean gangster guy.
Hello. But yeah, he has been playing the last few movies I saw with him, he was like a Korean gangster. So I'm trying to think of his actual character as Korean gangster versus Ethan Hawke pimp.
Okay, how about
Jolly
this?
the
Can,
Pimp.
can he transcend Korean gangster?
Well, like, his character is Korean gangster, and I think, like, he's old enough that if you have a full movie on him, you're bringing in some younger characters, which, like, there is a platform for it to be more than just his character. There's, like, you can do other things because he's the older guy. With Jolly the Pimp, it's Jolly the Pimp. and it's weird aliens.
But
that
that's
pimping out
great.
the people.
Yeah.
I'm kind of saying that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I would go with Jolly the Pimp over Korean Gangster. I think it'd be a nice, entertaining movie.
I am
a
happy.
nice whatever, but Jolly the Pimp, I'd be more interested in watching that and seeing how Ethan Hawke became
Half the
Jolly the
reason why I'm
Pimp.
voting for Jolly the Pimp is because I want a Jolly the Pimp versus Ruby Rod final.
And, I mean, it feels like that's where we're at.
I think
I just don't have any real frame of reference for what the Korean gangster
Gangster
movie
dude,
would be
yeah.
like. And Jolly the Pimp, like, you could do basically the entire, like, you could do him meeting his first pimp. Like, there's so many
his first
things.
trick.
How he
His
became
first, yeah, his first, like, was he a pimp before? Or was he, like, a prostitute? And then he, like, makes his way up.
Yeah, it's like a Scarface type story where it's like
Sure,
stuff from
yeah,
the
he
bottom.
starts as like a soldier, like
first you get the pearls, then you get the trick,
Yeah.
then you get
And then
the
how did he
money.
meet Bubbles?
Yeah. Was he always
I know he would like that.
Jolly? Yeah, I do want to see him.
He
meet
wants to see
Bubbles.
how he met
Yeah.
Bubbles.
Oh, now you have
Yeah,
to
we
do
could get more
this.
Bubbles in the
Alright,
movie.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
But you could bring
I-
Bubbles back.
Oh, yeah.
Or Bubbles'
And-
his twin sister.
And it's
And
in the
she has to live. She has to live.
and it's it's in the Valerian I guess cinema like world.
In the
Good
world.
the
It's a good
world of Valerian.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I'm more for Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, Jolly
I mean,
Pimp.
I think Ethan Hawke deserves to have that much fun in any role.
Side story or side question: have you guys seen the movie where Ethan Hawke is his mother, father, and child?
No.
What?
Oh dear God, that sounds
Boyhood?
horrible.
No.
But I want to watch it.
No, it's a sci-fi time traveling movie where he goes back in time, fucks himself as he's a girl, and then gives birth to himself.
No, wait.
No.
Serious? Wait, what's the name of
what's
this
it
one?
called?
You don't know. You don't know. Okay.
It was like 2014, 2015.
Okay, so
Well,
Ethan
alright, and
Ethan Hawke
I've
fucking Ethan
given
Hawke.
away the
Messed
whole movie
up.
right there, but it's just entertaining as hell.
That's so
No, it's
messed
like
up.
Yeah.
pre
I
something.
remember seeing that.
pre-
So you saw? I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I want to watch it now.
And I'm gonna watch it again. Because, like, yeah, that's
And the bad,
Predestination.
yeah, Predestination, and he plays the bad guy too.
that's kind of
Okay.
awesome.
And the bad
That's
guy.
so weird.
So it's an Ethan Hawke
So
movie.
weird.
Okay, no, I remember watching that movie and I had zero idea what was happening. I'll watch it
I'm
again
gonna watch it again too.
because I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna
that's
watch
probably
it.
why you didn't get it at all, right? You're
Yeah.
like, wait a second, what? Who's that guy? Why
I
are
think
they
I-
banging? Wait, why does that guy look like that guy now?
Yes, but I mean, like, that's not what I took out of that movie. I think I stopped paying attention for maybe like 5 seconds.
It was like
And
the
that
big
was
reveal at
probably
the
enough.
end.
We're probably gonna have to talk about your seating of this, man. Is it
Yes.
Seating?
Are we 5? Oh no,
Two
we're
versus
5 versus
five.
No, so
2.
okay, yeah.
Oh,
Speaking
5
of,
versus 2 is not bad.
we're back. We're in the finals now.
Yes.
All right, so
This is
we got Ruby Rod coming off like a really tough
tough.
fight against
is really
Commander
tough.
Aaron Fillett, and upsetting Stansfield in the semifinals versus Jolly the Pimp, who had a pretty easy Rudy Rude. I even fucked up the joke.
I got it.
Basically, Ruby Rod versus Jolly the Pimp.
Okay, I'm
In the
gonna go
finals.
first because I think you guys all know my opinion. Like, I don't like the Ruby Rod movie. Jolly the Pimp. There's a lot of things you can do from that. One of, like, there being a big expansive world. There's a, like, how did he get to the place he is? There's a lot of different, like, aliens and types of people that he could be interacting with, where he could still be a reasonable main character while being super eccentric at times. Whereas with Ruby Rod, I can't see him being the heart of a story. So I'm going Jolly the Pimp.
Okay, in contrast to that, I have completely bought in to the idea of seeing Ruby Rod do mundane things while still not being able to do anything other than what Chris Tucker did as Ruby Rod. So, like, teacher! Like, you know, just his entire life. I want to see Ruby Rod's
But
entire life.
is that the whole 2 hours?
That's the whole
Yeah.
movie.
Like, I think that's funny for like 10, 15 minutes.
Can you imagine people trying to have like a real moment with someone that's like, yeah, yeah, I love you. I want to take you to prom. Like, at a certain point, like, he means the things he's saying.
I feel like that's a big, like, fuck you to Hollywood. And, like, you guys think you're making movies? We're making this.
Can you imagine? I would watch that whole
So is this
thing.
like is
Oh,
Chris
I
Tucker
would watch
in?
it too.
Is it
Or
Chris Tucker now,
It's
or
either
is it
Chris
someone?
Tucker or it's someone doing
It would be
the
Kevin
most
Hart.
seamless Chris
No,
Tucker.
no, I don't wanna see
Hart would be
Kevin-
It would be
fantastic.
Kevin Hart.
But no, like, it's someone that we haven't seen before, and they're doing like the Dumb and Dumberer version.
It has to be,
Chris
yeah,
Tucker, and he's just doing a straight up Ruby Rod impression the whole time. And like maybe we hire a couple people so we can see like little kid Ruby, and then like teenage Ruby, and then young adult Ruby can still be played by Chris Tucker, slightly de-aged because CGI.
Okay, I'm gonna try something here.
What was Carson's points? In like, if you had to do Carson's points in
Not
quick,
yet,
or
not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Rapid fire round. Ruby Rod or Jolly the Pimp. Just too late.
I heard it.
Jolly
I heard
Pimp.
it. Ruby Rod.
Ruby Rod.
Oh! Okay, that's not the final decision.
That's not the final decision though.
Why?
Why Ruby Rod? It's
'Cause
just, if I had to, the characters are both interesting, but Chris Tucker, his character for Ruby Rod, it's a unique character that you don't see so often.
Ever.
Ever.
Forever.
That's what I mean. His is a unique character that I've only seen
Actually,
in Rush
Outside
Hour.
of other Chris Tucker movies.
Exactly. Aside from Chris Tucker movies, but I haven't seen one in a while. Where Ethan Hawke's character, I've seen a few other movies.
Really?
With a similar character, not Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, you never
but
get to
I
see
kind of want to see Ethan Hawke do how he became what's his name again? Jolly the Pimp.
I don't know, like, I feel like there's
Honestly,
so much...
Pitch this movie. Like, what does a good Ruby Rod
Carson's
movie
getting
look
really
like?
mad.
Okay, here is... So there's a personality out there, right? It's a personality, and everyone just cannot avoid the bizarre magnetism of it, okay? Men enjoy it in spite of themselves. Women seem to want to be around him in spite of what seems like terrible behavior. However, throughout his life, he still resonates with people. You see this guy, he's going to, like he's taking piano lessons, and like, teacher!
That is your main argument.
That is the main argument.
I
That's
want to
what
see
you-
him doing dumb, regular stuff.
I think
like,
that's a Saturday Night Live sketch. That's not a movie.
Not a movie.
It's
No.
a very.
I've actually
entertaining
made my
Saturday Night Live
decision
sketch.
on which one I want now, for sure. I'm
Like,
110%
"Excuse me,
positive.
This stall
That's what I
doesn't
want.
have any toilet paper in it. Like,
So right now,
Are you changing
Ben's going with Ruby Rod. You're going with
Jolly the Pimp.
Jolly the.
yes.
Joe
I
has
made my
the
final
power right
decision.
You've made your final.
I'd like some
As-
reasons, though.
As much as I would like the Ruby Rod movie.
Oh.
Whoa! Spoiler. Not really. I'm going with Jolly the Pimp because I'm thinking also because their character is also based on their worlds and universe as well. Fifth Element, I like some of the concepts, whatever. I know it is an older film, but when I think back to Valerian and the way they just set it up, that whole world they have, I feel like there's a lot of possibilities with Jolly the
I
Pimp
do think
on
there's
where
more possibilities than
where
one.
his character originates. He could have started on some random mining island. He could start off in like some Tatooine kind of
Spice
weird.
Castle.
Yeah, he could start off on some weird island. He could start off as a orphan in the middle of 1,000 planets of Valerian, and that's how he becomes a pimp. But then Ruby Rod, he's stuck to, I guess, his origin where I guess he could. I don't know. That's what I keep thinking now.
I think Ruby Rod would make a great second character.
I was going to say,
Yes, definitely.
how about a
Funny,
crossover?
yes.
Could we have a crossover, maybe? Like, the Jolly the Pimp is, like, it's his story.
I feel like he'd get
You
sick
could
of
put
Ruby Rod and
in
he like.
any movie, and he would make any movie better. But like, you need it to be a Lethal Weapon type movie where there's two characters and there's one.
Stop advocating to make Rush Hour again. Right?
No, like honestly, I would go for a Jackie Chan reunion where it's like you cast these two characters as like. Oh.
Did we lose it? We lost the video feed for a little while.
Whatever, we put some images up.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so like I think if you have a successful Ruby Rod movie, it's because somebody else is the heart and soul in the movie, and he's there kind of in the background or like this like contrasting side to side type thing. And it's like I think you could make that movie. I just don't like it's not the Ruby Rod movie. Whereas like Jolly the Pimp, like you can have a guy where he is acting as the reasonable main character, like you have him going off against a more serious pimp and have him like challenging him, and beating him.
A more serious.
More serious.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah.
It's like he's a little bit more grounded that you can make him a main character. I just don't think Ruby Rod can be a main character.
Okay, final decisions. Ben, let's start with you.
Ruby Rod.
Ruby Rod.
Ruby Rod. Carson,
Jolly the Pimp.
Jolly the Pimp. Joe.
Jolly the Pimp.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
That was tough. That was actually a good finals match.
That was a good. I like the lineup.
I appreciate everybody's passion.
I did not expect it to get this heated.
I did not expect Ruby Rod to get to the
I
end.
didn't think you would get that far. Yeah.
I did not think I would be advocating for Ruby Rod at the end of this. I did not.
Okay, now that
What
we
the
have
hell?
Jolly the Pimp starring Ethan Hawke, what movie do we want to see? Like, I know there's lots of possibilities, but what are we trying to see really with Jolly the Pimp?
I think he's going mano a mano against another pimp, and I'm trying to think who would be a good pimp for him to go up. Like, probably a more
Michael
serious
B.
person.
Jordan.
But it's like, I see him as the younger, defeating a more older pimp.
Okay, so he's already a pimp.
Matthew McConaughey.
Like, he's breaking it. Matthew McConaughey would be great.
I kind of want to see him as a good guy doing some weird, courageous hero stuff, and then somehow
Replace Dane DeHaan with him.
yeah, something like that. But then somehow the movie has a bad twist at the end, where instead of it's
He
a
has
happy
to
ending,
become a pimp?
he has to become a pimp, or something happens at the
Just
end, and he
making the most
just
of it.
becomes like depressed, goes to a darker side, becomes a pimp because that life's safe
And
somehow.
I want Bubbles to be a big part of the plot.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that yes.
Okay, so
that is
first of all,
honestly-
is this before, after, or during the events of Valerian?
Before.
I'd rather see
so
before.
that Bubbles
Yes.
could be it.
Okay, so Bubbles is in it.
And I would personally like it to be like kind of encapsulate a bit. Like, I'd love to see a little bit of an origin story, and the first, say, 20, 30 minutes be like a small retelling of the movie Pretty Woman. But with Ethan Hawke in the Julia Roberts role.
And wait, what?
What?
Yeah. No, I want to see, because, no one starts a pimp, all right? I feel like in a lot of these cases, like, that eyeliner's not a mistake. That's not a pimp choice.
Or he
Okay.
could have gotten into pimping like Will Ferrell and the other guys. Gator?
Oh, Gator, yes.
Gator's bitches better be wearing jimmies.
Space Gator.
Yeah.
But then he just got too far in and he didn't get out.
I don't know.
That was an awesome pimp.
Again, I just see him as being like a person that started out, as a prostitute,
Yeah.
space prostitute, and then slowly built his way up, and
Yeah.
then eventually became the pimp.
I think you either go like that, where he's eccentric from the beginning and that's part of his character, or you start him as like maybe he's a cop who's trying to infiltrate it, and then he's just like, no one knows who he is, and he's just like, I'm just gonna take over.
It's like a Smoking Aces thing.
Yeah.
What if the
Oh,
movie
yeah. I love
like
Smoking Aces.
Training Day was in space, and eventually he became Jolly the Pimp?
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys 2 minutes. I'm gonna step out for 2 minutes, build your pitch. I'm gonna come back in, and you have to pitch the Jolly the Pimp movie to me. All right?
And then you're gonna go with the best one.
No. All of you together, you have to make the pitch. Like this is not a fight. You have to work together this time.
This is a lame excuse for you to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, well, yeah.
No,
I do
yeah,
have
yeah.
to go to the bathroom.
He has to go
but
bathroom.
I also thought it was a good idea that I just made up now.
Right.
Okay. So
Uh,
while you
time-
go and
Wait, hold on, timer.
if you finish early, you just have to wait out there
Stopwatch.
for 2 minutes.
Starting. No, when I finish early, I'm just gonna wait in the room.
Yeah.
Ready, set. Oh wait, I have to be out of the room.
Yeah.
And go.
Go.
We're gonna see Paulo in
Okay.
45 minutes.
So okay, Jolly the Pimp. Where is he gonna start? Do you want to start like he's a kid or somewhere like early pimp
Probably not a
stages?
kid.
No, not a kid.
You
but,
got to
like,
do those flashbacks, yeah. But
he's getting. I think he's. How does he enter into that world? Does he, like as you said, start as the male prostitute, or does he start kind of more on the pimping side?
I would like to see him as a prostitute.
Okay,
More
yeah,
than
yeah,
more
yeah,
than.
personally- well, oh yeah, maybe it's like a flash. Wouldn't it be ridiculous if it was like a wistful flashback to when he was a pimp? Like when he was a prostitute.
Prostitute, yeah.
And then like him like as an early. I definitely think there's something to be said about like early
Yeah.
pimp life.
I could actually see being like a gangster movie where like he starts as a prostitute, he learns the game, and then he becomes a pimp. He beats out other pimps, becomes a top pimp,
I
and then
think
goes from
if
there.
you're doing this story, you need either someone he's learning from as a mentor, or somebody he's competing against, but like an older person who's more into the game.
Yeah,
Is it Matthew McConaughey? Who is this person?
I'm down for Matthew
Yeah,
McConaughey,
I
Magic
think-
Mike team, yeah.
Magic Mike, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
As, like the older prostitutes turned pimp. I still want Matthew McConaughey to also have been a prostitute.
Yeah.
And then into a pimp.
They
I
could've-
don't want anyone to not have been a
They could
prostitute.
have been best. They could have been best friends when they're growing up, and then they split up, and somehow they both became prostitutes.
Right.
Both became
Like
pimps,
a tale of two
and then they had
cities,
to
but
become
like
the
with
top.
prostitute pimps.
Yeah.
I think he's more of someone he's a mentor to Ethan Hawke as opposed to someone he beats, because if you
Oh,
beat
okay,
him,
okay.
then it's like you don't want to be like him, and it's like almost like this person was my inspiration, so I'm now gonna be like him.
But like he could be like a bad pimp. Like he
Well, it's
could
like
have
someone I
treated-
respect, but now I've learned your dirty secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I was gonna say
wanna do it
maybe.
better. I'm gonna
Yeah,
show
yeah,
you
yeah.
the game.
I was gonna say they could have like grown up in the same neighborhood, but Ethan Hawke was older. He was a mentor. No, not Ethan Hawke. Sorry,
Matthew
Matthew
It
McConaughey
actually
was
sounds a
older.
lot like Wolf of Wall Street.
I have not seen Wolf of Wall Street.
But that's
Oh
basically
my
like
God,
he's
yeah,
like a
Time.
Okay.
Oh wow, you guys actually stopped.
Ruined it.
Okay, I hope you have like side characters and everything.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
This is gonna be really oddly boring for the people that just watched us figure
Because
this
yeah,
out.
they
Yeah.
heard our pitch
just
already.
listen to
pretty
what we were already talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch the episode.
Spoiler for Paulo.
Like you all should.
Right.
Wait, but so then what's the story? Like I kind of want to know. Give me
Okay.
like a 5-second like summary.
Okay. Yeah. Ethan Hawke. We meet him as a young pimp coming up in the game, flashing back to times when he was slowly becoming a pimp through his prostitute work and whatnot, while under the tutelage of Matthew McConaughey's older pimp. Slowly realizing that the way that Matthew McConaughey is pimping isn't his way, and developing what that way might be moving forward, while also featuring very heavily Bubbles.
Something I just thought of. He's gonna use Bubbles in like a Mission Impossible-esque way to impersonate Matthew McConaughey.
Ooh, wonderful.
Ooh,
That's-
I like
that's
that.
great, yeah.
That I like. Yes.
Yeah, to further solidify himself as like the main pimp
Yeah.
of the region. Yes.
Lionsgate Films. You want an idea?
Oh, Eurocorp,
So-
man. They're looking for it now after how Valerian went.
Asylum Films.
Asylum.
What the God?
What is it? Kaufman? That guy, Andy Kaufman? No, Andy.
No, those are the ones who make like Atlantic Rim.
Trauma. The Trauma films.
There's one other movie that
They'll make anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm
that's our
a little
pitch.
confused, but I guess that does it for our Luc Besson episode.
Yes.
If you're still here, we're gonna treat you to what we're looking forward to in the next month, the month of March. I don't know when this is gonna be released, because it's gonna be a lot of work. But Joe,
Me? Joe. Okay.
what are you looking forward to coming up in the next month?
In March, I'm looking forward to Tomb Raider.
Tomb
Uh,
Raider.
We talked about it briefly, but I didn't know that it was the same chick from Ex Machina.
Machina.
X
Yeah.
Machina.
Machina. Yes, I didn't know it was the same chick from there, but I kind of do want to see a new Tomb Raider. See, I kind of want to see where they go with it, where they refresh it. Could be like, they could do a whole good series with it depending on how this first one goes. And obviously, the person that plays Tomb Raider is
Alicia Vikander. I'm 50-50 on it. I'm really worried.
she's beautiful.
I'm like, I can see like it's. I don't know if you've played the Tomb Raider game on PlayStation.
Yeah.
It looks like it's following that exact story, the whole way through.
Okay.
But there, like Alicia Vikander's in it.
I just personally hope it fails so she can do better things.
She,
So
I
she
feel like
doesn't
she
get
can do
tied
great
down
things.
I
two
don't
more
want
movies.
Lisa to be doing 5 of these.
I want to see
Yeah.
her tied down on that, so that's her steady pay, and then she could go.
You
on
just
and
want to
do-
see her tied down.
Yeah, and I want to see. I definitely want to see her do other movies for sure. I feel like she does have that range where she can do.
Oh my God, she's great.
Yeah, she could do great movies, but I do want to see her in this role and see how they do Tomb Raider and how they set up her
yeah.
character.
I mean, pure morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
I'll see.
I'll
it.
go see it opening weekend. Shit.
But yeah,
Well,
that's
I was
my
gonna say
movie, Tomb Raider.
Netflix, but
Oh no, I'm doing opening weekend.
okay.
But that's my movie, Tomb Raider.
I'll go with you. Carson.
So there's a movie coming out in March called Thoroughbreds, which stars Anya Taylor-Joy, who was in The Witch, and I think she's in X-Men now.
Oh yeah.
And other girl from like Me Something and the Dying Girl. Me Earl and the Dying Girl. Anyway, it's a girl who has no emotions whatsoever. She's like a sociopath and has to fake all her emotions and manipulate people. And she has a friend who cannot hide her emotions whatsoever. And they kind of team up to take down her evil dad. And it seems like they're kind of psychotic and a lot of crazy shit happens. But just the pure style of the movie, I'm just really interested. I don't know much about it, but like, I'm sold.
Cool.
I like that. I like when movies they have crazy characters because it could go anywhere.
I feel like Ingrid Goes West vibes. So I would. I'm
I still have to watch
into it.
that.
I would recommend it again. Sorry, I'm gonna go next because I don't want to go last again.
Ben's like, oh yeah.
I'm gonna recommend Pacific Rim Uprising for obvious reasons.
What are those obvious reasons?
What are they?
I never miss a chance to say that I was in the original Pacific Rim.
Are you in this new one though?
I'm not in this new one, so it's probably not gonna be as good. But I actually do.
Lack of Paulo.
I do want to see it. It's like giant robot. Like I'm a dumb moviegoer.
I thought I was gonna hate it, and then I saw the first trailer. I was like,
It's cool. Like big robots. The only thing I'm kind of confused about is like I see kind of robots fighting each other in the trailer.
Yeah.
Which
I'm a little hesitant just because it's not Guillermo del Toro.
And that too.
The fact that you had a giant aliens versus giant robots, like that's a pretty hard thing to pull off, and he did it kind of okay.
Yeah.
And now it's just some other person. I'm like,
yeah. Honestly, Guillermo del Toro can do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah.
And since it's coming from like, I'll extend it for this movie, I guess. And also John Boyega, like who
he does look good. Yeah.
Who can't root for that guy?
John Boyega.
Yeah.
I like his mustache and his accent.
Mustache.
Mustache.
Thank you, Sean Connery. Bebop.
Isle of Dogs.
You love dogs, or
No,
Is that a movie,
the
or is
upcoming
that-
movie Isle of Dogs?
Isle of Dogs? Yeah.
The voice cast on that is insane.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's the new movie from Wes Anderson, similar to like the Fantastic Mr. Fox, but in that it's like stop motion animation and stuff.
Oh, stop
Oh,
motion.
it is?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I haven't
It's
seen
like
it. I like
Bill
that.
Murray, Jeff Goldblum, Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton,
Oh,
Tilda
shit.
Swinton, Greta Gerwig.
All
like
just voice acting.
Ken
Voice
Watanabe.
acting,
Just
like, crazy.
insane.
Ken Watanabe.
Insane voice cast. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and it's directed by Wes Anderson, so the dialogue's gonna be
Witty
dark.
and-
Yeah. I was already sold with the first few on the
Yeah.
cast.
So
Cool.
I'm stoked about that.
All right. Wait. Do you know what it's about?
It's like an Isle of Dogs.
It's a future where dogs rule Tokyo, so they kick all dogs out and have them live on a garbage island. And then a little boy goes to try to find his dog on the island, and his dad is the mayor who kicked out all the dogs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds pretty great.
All right. Well, I'm down with that one too.
Yeah, that one actually sounds pretty dope. I kind of watched that.
I guess that's it for our vlog podcast today. Thank you for joining us.
Woo.
Now we're gonna eat pizza.
Yeah, follow us
Pizza
on
Pizza.
Instagram, Houston. We have a podcast, and
the
thank
Twitter
you
as
for
well.
your support.
Look out for the post-credit sequence of us eating pizza.
Yes.
Nice.
That will be a thing.
Yeah, cool.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys. Hope you enjoyed.
Let's.